Well, this is interesting. The OBS just did an entirely different version of its startup for live streaming. I don't understand anything about how the software works anymore. I give up. I just hope it keeps working. Howdy, guys and gals. Jeff King here from the Den of Tools. Look at that new graphics and everything shiny. Yeah, I've been playing around with some stuff this week, and we're going to have some fun with it. Starting a little bit early for all those you got in here early. So let's see here. Oh, my gosh. Let's go back, say hi to him. Nick's in the house. Neil's here. William Gibson. Antonia's at the Mom Life. Howdy, Mom Life. Don't worry. The missus will be here in about 10, 15 minutes, depending on how she's running. Laxshecker. I don't know how to pronounce that. Laxer? Laxer? At A to Z. Crypto. I still got some money in Bitcoin. It's just sitting there. I'm not playing around. I did try doing the whole trading kind of thing. I didn't do well with it. So I'm like, I'll just let it sit, see how it's doing. It's doing okay. Neil says, forgot to give a shout out last week. Yes, thank you very much to the mods who jumped over that whole thing here. Diz is in the house. Frank Landgraf is here. Wohawk is around. Jennifer White Wolf. Adam Bennett. Futon 02. Let's see here. Stuff works and stuff with FedEx. Okay. Carlos is in the house. Remember, everyone, you need to type in at the Den of Tools above. By the way, I'm trying something new, and I think it should work. I restricted it so that only subscribers could chat, and hopefully that will stop the issue that we saw last week with people jumping in. Also, maybe slow the chat down a little bit so we can spend some more time talking, and I won't have to scroll so much. Oh, let's see here. Also, a lot of first timers here. Howdy from Tennessee. Yes, time for live stream. By the way, since the missus isn't here, cheers to you all. If you didn't see this, over on the Bears Den on Friday night, I sat down. We did a pour with the Bib and Tucker bourbon here. Let me get that up there so you can. Not that it's going to focus on it. Come on. There we go. Bib and Tucker was at 90 some proof. It's not 90. It's like 92, 94, somewhere in that range. So low 90s proof. Bourbon out of Tennessee. Small batch, of course. So anyway, we're having a little bit of that. Nice. Ooh. All right, let's see what else we got here. Gary says, hey, you're running late, just getting things in the truck head out, or in the truck to head out. Suffusion of Yellow says howdy. Mike Adams says, howdy y'all. Don't feel bad, Jeff. I'm in the same position when it comes to computers, technology, and I butt heads. The sad thing is I'm supposed to be fairly tech savvy. I'll be honest though. I used to be really tech savvy. I used to kind of do that for a living kind of stuff. But I don't know. I got out of the industry and I stopped keeping up with it, and I focused more on the business side of stuff. And, these days my kids probably know almost as much as I do. Oh, let's see here. Wohawk, scrolling, keep the chat scrolling. Yeah. Hiram says, what I thought about, I think your, Red Bear is probably not a good idea to force a 20 volt Dewalt battery into a 60 volt cordless, even though you can do it. Yeah, that's probably not a good call. Michael says, Jeff, greetings in the evening. Good idea. We'll get a snort of whiskey and rejoin the show. Awesome. Grab your whiskey. In fact, if you want, you can grab a cigar. I started this one last night. We'll have a few puffs before the missus shows up. If I can get this thing relit, we'll see about that. Remember, children, smoking is bad. Which is why I smoke cigars. Maybe. If I can get it lit, keep it lit. Oh, let's see here. Did I see Project Farm's latest video? No, I've been busy doing my stuff this weekend. What was it about? By the way, remember to type the at the Den of Tools up there. Hello from Alabama. Chris says, I'll join you with some whiskey shortly. Need to finish cooking first. Good call. Cooking before the whiskey. Whiskey before cooking, that's just a mess. Trust me, I've been there. Carson says, hey, from Iowa. Oh, I love my Iowa folk. Go Hawkeyes. What do you think of the Milwaukee Packout, and do you think Home Depot will have a three-piece for $200 again? It will be at or really close to $200. The question will be what pieces will be involved. It'll probably be the standard pack. They sure will. Honestly, I think Milwaukee Packout is, if you're a pro and that works for you, it's a great system. I think for weekend warriors, DIYers, or even the budget-minded professional, I think there's better, less expensive options. I'm in the VersaStack system myself. I think it's a fantastic system. The Ridgid system is excellent for a real budget kind of minded folk. And there's some other choices out there. Let's see here. The Ironworker Doug from SF. Woohoo. Howdy. Let's see here. Are you excited about Black and Friday tools? I'm stoked. I'm drinking and smoking. I'm so excited. I think I let my cigar go out. It's a sin, I know. I don't smoke nearly enough. Hold on, gotta see who Moto's bothering me about. I put in new security cameras, and now it pings me every time I walk by. I gotta figure out a way to change it. I got the Wise cameras. They're amazing, but let's see here. Whoa, dropping my phone. All right, she's on her way. All right, Mrs. is on her way. White Hot says, "How about Project Farms, Lesbian? Who makes me miss old Craftsman?" I don't know. Usually. Oh, I saw the. No, it wasn't Project Farm, was it? I saw somebody did a thing about. Oh no, I saw the thumbnail. It was I think it was something like the Taiwanese Craftsman versus the Chinese Craftsman. And I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna guess he said the Taiwanese was way better than the Chinese Craftsman, and I've been saying that since the day it came out. Everyone gives me all the Craftsman fanboys, and I'm a fan bear of Craftsman. Okay, I just bought a Craftsman box. It's junk. Don't do it unless you have like a specific need, like I did. Somebody just posted over in the Bears Den, not the Bears Den, the Den of Tools Facebook group, that they just got the Husky box. It's a 42-inch box. The build quality on the Husky is so much nicer. I'm sorry, for budget boxes right now, Husky's got the game won. All right? I love me some Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, we go way back. Yeah, you and I and all of us. And we love you. And the Yukon boxes, when they came out, they were the bee's knees. They kneecapped the Husky box. They were better quality, whole 9 yards. But Husky was like, whoa. They backed up. They're like, okay, we can't get beat by this. And they made the box bigger. They added the riv nuts. They did everything that Harbor Freight was doing, and they just made it bigger. And then they put a USB and a power strip on the side. It's a few bucks more, but it's like 10% more, 20% more. But for all of that, since you're going to go out, probably if you're like me, you're going to buy that magnetic power strip anyway and slap it to the side. By the time you buy that, you're going to have nearly the same thing for a smaller box. Now, if you need a smaller box, like less depth, my area back over there, and you'll see when I do my tour, you'll see why I didn't buy a bigger box for the other side. It's cozy back over there, but that's where I got all my toolboxes. And but the Husky box is just so much better for not much more money. It's ridiculous. And it's way better than that Craftsman box. But it just makes you sad when you remember what Craftsman used to be. All right, let's see here. The Kirk says, howdy, y'all. Hold on just a second. Nope, that ain't going to change. The cable coming out of my phone is blocking part of the chat window for me. So let's see here. The Kirk says, howdy. Michael says, not a fan of tobacco products. Never developed the talent with that thing you look like Orson Welles. I wish I could write like Orson Welles. Oh my gosh. You going hunting this year? Oh, we're going for mule. We're going for deer. We're going for antelope. And I'm flying my son up from Vegas. He's going to be here for all of 4 days. We're going hard after a bull elk for him. It's his first season hunting. He's got the new rifle. We're going to go for it. And if we can score, we'll at least get him a deer. So he'll have something. But we're going to go for the elk. And that would just set the tone for his hunting career. And put a lot of meat in the freezer. Let's see here. Nothing to tube says, howdy bear here from North Carolina. That torch will get it lit. Boy, that's a good idea. I wish somewhere I've got a MAP gas torch and I don't remember where I left it. Probably not a good idea. Jeff Rotondo says, how is the Ridgid miter saw treating you? I'll be honest, it's in the same spot. Well, you can't see it. It's in the same spot. I haven't moved it. And the reason is we're still trying to get the whole shop set up. I know you can't really see it behind me. I'll pull out the old spotlight. Thank you from Olight for sending this. I don't know if you can see that table right there. It's this right there table, and then this. That's my new recording pod, if you will. It's one of those automatic tables that goes up and down. And then it's got this whole like spider arm thing on it that holds a camera and a light and a microphone and everything else. And that's going to be hooked up to my PC. And it's going to be on wheels. So I can wheel it over to the bench when I'm doing bench reviews. I can wheel it to each tool as I'm doing tool reviews. And then I can pivot it down on the desk and use it for desktop reviews. And it's got a little button on it that goes up and down so I can change the perspective and all that. I got to thank DIY Electro, the YouTube channel. It's a guy one of the YouTubers I met. And he has a rig like that he set up, and it inspired me for that. So we're going to be getting that thing here running shortly. Wouldn't it be nice if Dewalt would let you pick the XR tools you want in your kit and give you special pricing on that? Wouldn't it be nice if every company did that? Just gave you kit. That's why I've been down on kits. All right. And I've said it for a long time that I think kits are ridiculous. I think they just give you that whole buy more, save more thing. That's kit pricing, but you get to pick and choose what you want. Cobalt does that. I wish more people did that. And they don't do it all the time, but they run that deal fairly often. Grant says, hey, you Grizzly. Hey, Grant, how's it going? Jennifer Whitewolf points out that smoking is bad. Glad I can't smell it. Have a drink instead. I'll join you. I tried smoking cigarettes way back when, and I could never get the hang of it. I was a punk kid hanging out with bad folks, and of course that was the hip thing to do. And it was stupid, and I never liked it. When I got older, I have a cigar. Maybe at this point, like 6 times a year. It's not very often. And I'll smoke this cigar for a while, and I'll probably only end up smoking like half of it. I remember with cigars, you don't inhale, just like Bill Clinton. The Tin Barn says, I was tech savvy for years. The TRS-80s started me off in the early 80s. Basic DOS, CPM, Windows killed me. Just a user now. I started right there along with you. I couldn't afford a TRS-80. I had to save up, but I would go down to the store and I'd play with them. I had a buddy whose dad ran he was the top guy at like an ITT tech kind of school. And so I got to go over to his house and play with all the cool tech and learned all that stuff, DOS and BASIC and all that. Louisiana says hi. Armando says Worm was up from SoCal, East Los Angeles. All right. Michael says, is it true that Lowe's used to sell Milwaukee power tools? They were selling them online through their online sales. That was, and I don't know if they removed them or what, but they never had them in store. The C. Adam says, hey, Jeff, even though you're no longer in the tech business, are there any wireless router companies you'd recommend or stay away from? Yes. As far, I don't know about ones I'd recommend or say, back up, ones I'd stay away from. Ones I'd recommend. I like Linksys. I used to use Netgear. I don't know if they're still big in the game. And honestly, if you're on a budget, TP-Link does some decent stuff for not much money. It's ridiculous what you can get for those guys. In fact, I've got a router somewhere over here that that I'm about to upgrade to in the shop to get better coverage, because I'm putting a lot of smart appliances in here. Let's see here. If your device goes off, I'm sorry. Alexa, turn on studio lights. Okay. Ooh. Alexa, turn off stand light 1. Okay. Alexa, turn off stand light 2. There we go. Anyway, so this is the latest router I'm setting up here, and it is a Netgear. I've tried the Asus ones too, and they're not bad either. All right, let me put my cigar over there. Oh, I'm so going to get yelled at. Let's see here. Antonio says, how are you, Jeff? Good to see you. Hope the family's doing well. They are doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. Hope yours is as well. Mark says, Tecton supposedly has a soft grip ratchet slated for 2022. That would be fantastic. I love the Tecton ratchets. If I'm looking for a quick release ratchet, I definitely go with the Tecton. If I want a standard slimline ratchet, I've been using the Icon ratchets recently. I've really kind of spurned them at first. Now I'm kind of coming back to them. I've got, and of course I have a whole set of the SK ones as well. So Chaka Gillis, $2 holler. Good evening. Ryobi is trash. Let's go, Brandon. That Brandon guy, he's a swell guy. Let's have a drink for Brandon. You, Brandon. Oh yeah, love that. Have they started up the Texas Craftsman plant yet? My understanding is they are still in pre-production rollout. Like they're producing stuff, but they're not to final production phase in that they're not happy with, they're still fine tuning. Let's put it that way. Grant Wynn, where were they made? The Craftsman? The boxes are made in China, I'm pretty sure. They're that made in the USA of global components things. So they're mostly made in China, shipped here, and then they finish them here. But at least they do more with those than they do with the tools. Literally, the power tools come here in a parts thing, and they have these little trays, these little foam trays. The case goes in, component, top goes in. The good news, I'll say this, there is now more manufacturing here. The motors are actually spun up, the rotor stuff are actually spun up here using robots. So they have increased the made in USA component. Timothy says, my Home Depot has a Ridgid Professional cast iron marked down from $7.99 to $5.25, one left. You think it's a good deal? It is a good deal. And is it going to be the best deal? For table saws, I don't think table saws are going to see a deep discount come Black Friday. The reason being is it's a small market. The people who want it, they got to pay. Because other than those saws, you're going up to like $1,000, $1,200. So if you don't need a saw that big, they've got you locked in at that point. And then on the other ones, you're also paying shipping usually on those. So yeah, they kind of got you between a rock and a hard place. So what you're seeing is the old version that's getting replaced by the one that I got back over here. And when that one comes in, that's what's pushing that price down. I would, honestly, if I were you, I would go up. I'd be asked to speak to whoever the manager of the day is, store manager, whoever, and be like, hey, I see you're doing a closeout on this saw. I've been looking for a table saw. I was thinking about getting the new one that's coming in. But if you could give me a sweetheart deal on this one, I will buy it today, load it up, and get it off your floor. They might give you an extra 10% or something off because of that. Depends on their mood, depends on how much they want that floor space. Black Friday is coming up. They got to put pods out everywhere. So they need that floor space back. Jason says, I think that the new 36-inch U.S. General cart is overpriced. What do you think on that? The one on display near me felt flimsy. The new 36-inch. Hold on. The cart. Let me go over there. You're talking about the shop cart, the one that's tall, that's got like the 7 drawers and stuff in it? Because that's what I'm looking up. I'm like, is that thing 32 inches? I don't know how many inches that thing is. Tool storage. U.S. General. That is 34 inches. What did you say? I thought you said 36. Well, either way, that's the new one. And then I, at least as far as I know, let me check new tools. Did something else come out? Oh, no. All right. So I'm going to guess that that's what you're talking about is the professional service tech one. And all I can say, I've seen them in person. They seem fine to me. They are, because there's broader swaths of sheet metal on that, it might feel a little flimsier, but I've also seen the Snap-on one, and I've seen the Matco one and a bunch of other ones, and the, Sonex ones. And they all seem about the same to me. I've talked to a lot of pros who have the new one. They went out and bought it immediately because I think it's overpriced for what you get. But if you're a professional, compared against what else there is out there to buy, it's a way better deal than everything else. So, all right, let me scroll down here. Let's see here. David says, we are like Iowa, rained all day, roads underwater. Hello from Omaha. Howdy from Omaha. For those of you who don't know, I grew up in the Midwest. My family's originally from Iowa. I grew up a lot in Iowa, a little bit over in Nebraska. So if you hear me talking to those folks, that's why. I also moved around a lot. I was an Army brat originally, and I spent time, did time in Kentucky and a little bit in Indiana and Ohio. So, and then I spent summers in, it's a long story. First hunting trips are always fun. They are. It's going to be, he went with me last year, and that was his first time he got to see someone actually shoot a deer. And he was really into it. Griffin was really into it. My daughter wasn't there. But my wife and my daughter rolled up just as we got it back to our friend's house. And my daughter, who said she wouldn't be interested, was all like, Quincy up in that thing after we gutted it and everything. She was totally psyched about it. All right, hold on. Gotta make sure there's no craziness going on. Oh, someone's at the house. Someone is at the house. Should we drop in on the missus? I bet she's dropping them off. Hold on, come on. You can do this. I'm using my Remo. If you saw, that's the over the door thing. Oh, we missed them. Oh well, they're gone. Anyway, it's funny. It's one of the security cams that clamps over your door, and you could talk through it. So every once in a while, if I get the text or the notification quick enough, I can jump on there. And I'll try and scare them. Like, what are you doing, my? Anyway, they don't get scared by it anymore. Wilhawk says, doesn't an elk require its own freezer? Pretty much. Greg says, hello from Omaha. Jennifer says that the red accent lighting is nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can change any of it from here. Can I change some of it to blue? No, I got a remote for I can change all these fancy colors, but it's like it's a little LED line of sight kind of thing. Mike Adams says, I found a tool company catalog my dad apparently ordered not long ago before he passed. The company is Rio Grande. Somebody told me something about Rio Grande a couple weeks ago. I've never heard of them, but I will look into it some more. How about that? Let's see here. Neil says, I'd be a fan of Universal Power Tools. I know it wouldn't happen, but it'd be nice. I would lead the charge if I thought we could get people to do that. That's a European Union kind of thing. If you see the European Union do that, we might have a chance. They just told Apple that they have to get rid of their dedicated Apple plug and go USB-C. I hate to see the government step in and make regulations like that, but I don't feel sad for Apple at the same time. Matt says, comment, is DIY on old houses a huge scam? I'm glad I'm not a carpenter. I would starve. A huge DIY on old houses, a scam. Well, I sure hope not, because my house is 140 years old and I'm fixing it up. So it better not be. I don't know what you mean by scam. Is it hard work? Yeah. I grew up around a lot of people. The people who influenced me, because I got into the trades young. I was doing landscaping during the summer, and then when I turned 18, my buddy's older brother got into fixing up houses. He leveraged some money, got some loans, and bought a house and got a loan to fix up the house and hired me on. And I started working from there, and we grew that into a company, buying house after house after house, fixing them up. And they're all older houses. We tear them down to 30% because you couldn't go past that. So I don't know if that's quite DIY. I mean, but we were just starting. We were all learning as we go. But I don't think it's a scam. I know, but like all the people around us, all my friends or the people I knew and hung out with were all people who were like living in older houses that were gutted. And it was always a case of like the kitchen worked, the bathroom worked, and there was like a trail you could follow to get to like a bedroom. And everything, they do one bedroom and they do one room, they do this. And then, after a couple of years, it was done. It was beautiful. And they did it themselves. And that's something I've always admired and I've always emulated. Loxney says, first live I caught. Hello from upstate New York. Oh, beautiful upstate New York. I love that up there. That is just gorgeous. Cody says, hello from Texas. I really appreciate your reviews. I've learned a great deal from you. Great. Thank you so much. Matt says, but seriously, how do I properly sight in the laser on my Circ saw? I just bought a Ryobi with a laser instead of Makita because I thought I needed the laser. I can't cut straight at all. Lasers were great when we didn't have anything else. Drop shadows have just completely changed the game. There are a few Makitas. I think there's a Makita that's pretty good with its laser. I've not played with the laser on a Ryobi, but I've heard complaints from a lot of people that they've got lasers on their saws that they just can't keep them sighted in. It just doesn't work. There are a lot of mods out there for how to do your own drop shadow light, though. So maybe look into that if you can't get your laser corrected. I don't have a Ryobi miter saw around here to play with to see the proper way to adjust it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just not going to happen. Jan says, hey, Bear Family, are you supposed to get some of the big western snowstorm? Oh, I haven't checked the weather. Is there another one coming? We just had a snowstorm. We got 3, almost 4 inches. Not as bad as last year. Last year, we got like 8 to 10 inches. It was ridiculous. I saw a picture from last year, and it was my son standing next to a snowdrift that was 10 feet high. Anyway, yeah. Well, at least we got the big 4x4 this year, right? I can get through about anything. Grant says, you're activating my she who shall not be named. I know, I'm sorry. Travis says, how did the Count court date go with the missus? You mentioned it a few videos ago. I did? Because we've cleared that up for years. That may have been an older video. We're on good speaking terms. In fact, we shared a house for a while. Crazy, right? With the whole family, everybody. I think she likes my new wife more than she likes me. Wouldn't be surprising. The Tide says, I saw Amazon Basic has ratcheting wrenches. What will they not do? I've seen those too, and I feel bad for all the discount companies because they look like they're the same one. Are they the gray ones? Like they're kind of like that cool metallic gray kind of finish? B. Stanford says, Stanford. Hey, Jeff, what's your thoughts on battery chainsaws? I'm in the Dewalt battery platform, but not opposed to a different platform. Dewalt has one of the best battery chainsaws, and I like battery chainsaws. I know there's a lot of hardcore chainsaw guys who will say you need to get a gas or a gas one because they're safer, because if they start to chew in your leg, it'll bog down, whereas the electric one will just go right through it or something. I think when you scream and let go, it will stop chewing through your leg. I don't know. Use safety, maybe wear those little leather chaps kind of things. Just be safe with what you're doing. If you still don't feel confident, get a pole saw. You're 8 feet away from the blade. Can't get much safer than that. Dave says, I was triggering your echo. Well, your echo was triggering me. I'm triggered. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dave. Nice beard, though, my man. Nice beard. Grant says, where's Husky made? Husky cabinets, believe they're made in China. Frank says, please give the live stream a like. Oh, wait. Don't forget to chomp that like button. Oh, new graphics. Isn't it fun? I've got set up with my stream deck here. Ooh, technology. I found it in a box, since the move, It's like Christmas. Every time I'm like, oh, there's a box I've been looking for, and I go through it. I'm like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this thing. Oh, why did I pack that? I hate that thing. It's like that. Mark says having Project Farm on a guest would be really cool. Where is he located? I'm in Montana. I don't think he's going to come out here anytime soon. Delaney says, my Alexa, I almost said it, didn't find a device called that. Sorry. Uh-oh. I think I hear a truck. Let's have one last puff before she gets here. And I have to put it out for good. And a little bit of whiskey. Bourbon, that is. Good stuff. Stay. All right, stop talking about her because she's here. So the camera I had installed, the Wise Cam, I had it set up. I got to find a way to turn it on and off easier. I had person detected. And every time you walk by it, it would chime person detected. She was like at the neighbors and the kids were at home. And our device at home, because it was hooked up to the Allegra, would go off and shout, "Hi, baby," and would shout, "Person detected." And they were freaking out. Poor little cubs. Cody Burrows, your thoughts on Tack Lifeline? I saw your reviews. Any additions? Well, I'm going to scoot over so the missus can fit in here.
That's right. Sorry, I'm tardy.
Come on, get in here.
I'm trying. Ooh. Okay.
Well, that was interesting. An error prevented shooting. Turn the camera off and on again or reinstall the battery.
Huh.
Did something happen to the camera?
Interesting. I don't know if you guys can hear us. Let us know if you can hear us.
I wonder if I just killed my
Oh, so they can hear us.
Yep. I think it's just
my
here.
beauty. I arrived and I killed the camera. I'm going with beauty, folks. Beauty. That's what I tell you. Sorry.
This is interesting.
Technical difficulties.
One moment, please.
Dr. Falcon wants to know, and what is the Bear family doing in the dark? Well, we're figuring things out. We're rebooting things.
I think my camera just died.
The Ben Shenanigans, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, says, but I can't see your pretty faces. I know. We are working on it. So we're just going to have super fun while we have darkness. I feel like singing the song. Michael says at the Den Tools, jump start it with the stun gun. Nothing Tube says, Mrs. DeBear did it. That's right. I know.
I totally blame her.
Nice. Wahawk says, Jennifer Whitewolf says, sound is still good. Thank you so much. Delaney says, at the Den of Tools, is it a Harbor Freight camera?
Sorry, we've converted to a podcast.
Right. Welcome on our journey. And I know that I'm sort of not reading them all in order. I'm trying. I'm sorry. Anthony says, please stay tuned for station identification. That's right. Cody Burrow says, I guess my tack life question did it. Right. You can barely hear me because my microphone is far away.
And I don't think it's turned up all the way.
Well, there's that. So, sorry about that.
Hold on, I need light.
Antonio says, he says, LOL, at converted to a podcast. Robert says, the wife came in and the video goes out. I know, right? Hawk, thank you for saying that you could barely hear me. That would be because I wasn't speaking into the microphone.
That's a first.
Dr. Falcon says, camera by Kodak. What are you doing to my...
Your drink is in my mousing area.
Your mouse is in my drinking area. That doesn't sound terrible. It says, at the Den of Tools, when all else fails, bigger effing hammer. I agree.
Always.
That's right. The Den of Tools is like an old radio. What did you say? An old radio show. I agree. And I think there's a weird lighting because I'm reading off of my cell phone. I look like I have like creepy, spooky lighting.
All right, let's get her back on camera more.
That's my leg.
Well, maybe it should not be there.
I have vast, copious amounts of room.
Sorry, I know the video is not nearly as good.
Sorry.
All right.
We're back.
By the way, don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Sorry, I had to play with you haven't seen my new graphics.
I did, actually. I saw when I parked the car.
Oh, aren't you special?
Very cool.
Stalking
Super
much?
cool. We're married. I don't think it's called stalking anymore.
I'll call it what I want to call it. You killed my camera. Hold on. Let's cover what Cody asked. He super chat $4.99.
Right.
Off of him. Yay.
Yay! Bing! Bing! Okay.
Don't worry, folks. She used to be trained. We'll get it again. Anyway.
Thanks. I almost spit
Thoughts on Tack Life. So Tack Life had pretty decent DIY level tools, and they got banned off of Amazon because of fake reviews. I would like to say, shame on them. I would never support them, yada, yada, yada. And I don't support them per se. They have their own website now, tacklife.com. You can go over there and buy stuff. They have begged me up and down repeatedly to do videos for them and send people to their site. I'm not prepared for that level in our relationship, if you will. I want to make sure that it's because you don't have the protection that you get when you buy off of Amazon. You have a problem with buying off of Tack Life. You better hope your credit card gives you good protection. That said, how do I say this? Everyone, it's one of the games where they got caught cheating, but everyone cheats. Basically, some hacker people exposed Aki, and Aki is one of the companies that owns Tack Life and a bunch of other ones, and Aki's owned by, Techpo and a bunch of the other companies you see on Amazon are the same company. Trust me, because I get contacted by them. The Fantic, these guys, the Fantic people, that's Tack Life also. The Tack Life's just one of the brands. I don't remember the name of the parent company. But everyone cheats. It's part of the game, and it sucks. It totally sucks. But that's what they do. Soren Anderson says, happy Sunday. Thanks for everything. Thank you very much, Soren. Hey, just going back to Cody, sorry, real quick, is basically, I think they have decent tools. You can kind of find them not called Tack Life anymore on Amazon, but if you got a good credit card with good protection on it, I wouldn't have a problem ordering it from Tack Life's website. Anyway, back to Soren, $10 holler there with the cowboy happy face. Yes. Gotta love that.
Thank you so much. Man, we are super blurry.
Yep.
Why does it look more blurry?
I don't know. I just got the webcam working. Didn't get a chance to optimize it. I have no idea why it's doing that.
We also have Adam Bennett with the $20 super chat.
We can go back to the podcast if you want. No? Okay.
No one wants the podcast. I mean, they do, but not when it's a video. Adam Bennett with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, is it snowing still? Pouring rain over here in Toledo, Ohio. It is not currently snowing.
Did you hear that there's some big western snowstorm coming through?
No.
Somebody commented. I haven't heard anything about it.
I heard there was some sort of cyclone bomb rain situation on the West Coast.
I heard it's supposed to be 80 and sunny for the rest of the year. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
That's because your weather person drinks a lot. They do a lot of day drinking and then reporting.
Hand me the bourbon.
Oh.
My precious.
Nick, is it Cowart? With the $7.77. I'm in the middle of something.
Just move your phone.
This is my phone. Okay.
We're adults, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah, we're responsible for children.
Don't try this at home. We're responsible for children. And a dog.
And a dog. Yeah, the most. Nick Cowart with the $7.77 super chat. Pop your cork. At the Den of Tools. Thanks for turning me on to Tecton years ago. Can you bring back the good, the bad, and the ugly? Or why insert brand sucks series?
People, if you've got, I would love to, but I've kind of run out of ideas. Send me an email at red@denatools.com. Any video idea. If you got a good, bad, and ugly you want me to do or something like that, but don't be really obscure. Because there's some people, they're like, you should do it about this one company that makes 5 tools that nobody's ever heard of. I'm like, gee, I want to do that video.
And all of their instructions are in Swahili or Sanskrit. Those are your options.
Yeah. No, that was the table I just put together. The instructions on that were ridiculous.
So so thank you so much for the super chat. I super appreciate it.
I should do a video just on the instruction manual, reading it. I should do a reading for children. Chinglish for children.
Okay. Adam Bennett, holy guacamole. $50 super chat.
Woo! That calls for a drink.
Says, ring that bell. Love you guys. Oh, well, we're not doing the bell. Really? Are you gonna? That's
the best I can do.
Creative. Thank you so much. I super appreciate the super chat, and I appreciate you always being here. I see you on here a lot.
Thank you so much. That is
so much.
amazing. By the way, if you want to see something really funny, on my video on Friday on the Bear's Den, where I was doing the pour for this and tasting it, I showed the glass that most people use as whiskey aficionados. And I would like to personally apologize to Marine X, who is a friend of the channel. Great guy, fabulous guy, because I made fun of this glass and basically only hoity-toity, people use it. And the same day he does a bourbon pour on his channel using that glass. And I feel terrible. The funny part, go on.
I was just going to say, but you have to watch because the funny part of what happens.
The funny part is, and I totally intended this was scripted. I showed everyone the glass, the hoity-toity glass, and I'm sitting in our workshop that it's downtown. It's a warehouse kind of building built in like 1900. It's like an old row house kind of warehouse kind of thing. And I pitched it 10, 15 feet in the air. I got 20-foot ceilings here. All the way back, should have hit cement and shattered in epic fashion. Yeah. I don't know what it hit, but it bounced. You got to see it. The reaction on my face, because it was all just like, oh, sad bear.
Yeah.
That did not go as planned.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for the support. You guys
Absolutely.
are fabulous. I got to catch up here. Is that all the super chats?
That is all the super chats.
We got this one here?
Currently.
The $20 one?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Michael says, speaking of fancy toolboxes, I saw a Snap-on. Someone had converted it into a baby changing station. I've seen that with the U.S. General. The Snap-on is kind of overkill. Homily says, hey, Homily, how you doing, man? Says, any display at Harbor Freight is going to be flimsy because of the employees assembling it. It is true. I did not buy their... So they've got 2 workbenches. The one that's like the wood carpenter style, if you would. And then they've got like the techie kind of bench that's got the light over it. And I didn't buy that workbench for years because I'd go into the store, you put your hand on it, and the whole thing would go chica, chica, chica. And I'm like, I'm not buying this thing. And so many of you reached out and said, no, you just got to give it a try. You got to. I had one for a couple of years. It did not survive movers. Movers killed it. But that said, you put it together right. That thing was excellent as like a tech bench kind of thing. It was perfect. And for the price, you can't beat it. Fred says, how bad is the storage of power tools and hand tools going to be? I don't know. And I don't think anybody knows, really. I don't think the companies know. And that's why we're getting this Black Friday kind of stuff. In fact, I've got some Black Friday deals coming out. They're going to be in the deals of the week. Speaking of which, we're going to do a test with a new channel. I haven't even told her really the whole scope on this thing. Why are we so epically blurry? Is the lens
I don't know.
dirty? Is it
Just
like
join
fingerprints?
us for a moment as we try to figure. Well, that's
Look at that.
better.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was just
my greasy
smudgy.
thumbs on it. See, that's what happens when you eat chicken and fondle your webcam. So anyway, boy, this stream is just going downhill fast. Strap in. It's going to be a fun ride. Where was I? Oh, deals of the week. There's going to be, the new channel. That's where I was getting to. So I'm going to do an experiment with a second channel that's just deals. And because there's a lot of stuff that we follow, and I'm trying to basically rope her into doing a lot of the work here. And so we're going to put the deals of the week. It's going to be on this channel and it's going to be on the other channel. And then we're going to do like daily deals for everything. We're going to cover electronics. We're going to cover home and kitchen. We're going to cover, different stores, Costco and Best Buy and all that kind of stuff. Basically, any super hot smoking deals. I'll try to get a quick video out on it and put it on the other channel. It's called The Den of Deals. I don't have any links or anything for it. Once we start getting things going, I'll put links. I'll link it to the main page and let you all know about it. Let's see here. Jesse King says, nice try. Better luck next time.
That was with the camera.
Nice.
Yep.
What's your take on Grizzly table saws? They're fantastic. They're a great table saw. If you can get them on sale and you can get the free shipping on it, the shipping really bites. X-Rayu says, don't know if you mentioned it in your last tools video, but blemished Ridgid high torque impact cheapest seems to be so far a direct tools outlet. I ordered mine on Friday. We do talk about them fairly often. And we try to put direct tools, at least a couple things in every deals of the week video. Also Mexel. I saw the Sam's Club has a bunch of their chest freezers on sale. Really? How much are they going for? She's always looking for a bigger, better chest freezer. Although I think we're going to go, believe it or not, I know. Before you type anything, hear the whole story. We're talking about getting rid of our chest freezer and getting an upright freezer. And why? Oh my gosh.
I love when he asks me these questions like I know what I'm talking about. Why are we doing this? Oh, right. Well, because it doesn't fit. Super professional people, okay? This is real life happening right now because it doesn't fit.
And this is why I drink. Floor space is why.
Yeah,
we have a 140-year-old house. It's not very big.
We have about this much room.
Chest freezer's way better than an upright.
I think in my brain, because my thought was that we could put it under the house.
Because going under the house is so easy. We'll just take the elevator down. That'll be fine.
Well,
I got to catch up on these comments. You just leave me hanging. Jason Blair, how's it going, Jason? The Bear or Den, any recommendations on thigh stabilizing knee pads? No, I don't know anything about those.
One of our cubs commented, but I can't see it.
Why?
I don't know. Not one of our personal cubs.
Oh, because they've only been a member for how long?
25 months.
Wait.
That's why I'm very confused.
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
We're not sure what you're trying to say.
Let's see here. Mike says the catalog is 848 pages. Oh my gosh.
Holy cheese and crackers.
Fred says, I have a broken Craftsman wrench. Can I take it back? Yes, you can. You're not going to get the same thing back. I'm sorry. You're going to get something much, much cheaper back. That's just the way of things. Mr. Bryan says, howdy, Bear. Hercules sliding miter saw and stand. Black Friday price predictions. Just saw it went up $10. I think the saw will be around $325, $330, maybe. I don't think it'll hit 300 again because Dewalt's. If you saw Dewalt prices went way up as well. I don't know anything about the stand per se as far as pricing wise. Carson says, have you ever had issues with Makita tools? I did. Apparently if you drop them off of a 3-story building onto concrete, they don't bounce very well.
Who knew?
Anyway, so I just got the Makita brushless tool on the first day. The switch got really stiff until it was almost impossible. Here's the thing. When these companies, they make millions of tools. There's going to be some off the line that just for whatever reason die. You can't judge an entire tool line by one tool. I absolutely love Makita. So do a lot of professionals. They're like one of the best selling, probably for drill drivers. They may be the number one drill driver around the world. In the U.S., we see Dewalt. We see. Well, a lot of people think it's all Dewalt. And actually, they think if you're on YouTube, they think it's all Milwaukee. Everyone just uses Milwaukee. Dewalt's number one by a margin of like almost 3-1. And then Makita, Bosch, and Milwaukee are tied for second place when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you don't hear about it because the Makita and Bosch sell to hardcore pros through pro outlets. They don't care about retail. And that's why you don't see that much advertising for them.
Jason Blair with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Also, he has some amazing info for you. He says, we've had both a chest and a stand-up freezer. I get the size concern, but the chest models are so much better. But you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can't even walk around. It's crazy.
All right, I got to catch up or I'm going to lose the chat here. It's going to get behind.
Yep.
Scam, Matt says, scam was a poor choice of words. I'm just a novice trying to figure out. I get super frustrated. It seems like nothing ever goes right. It takes 10x what you plan. Yeah. And guess what? Being a professional contractor, you got to plan for and adjust for what you didn't plan or adjust for. It's going to happen. That's called fixing old houses. Trust me, every time you rip out a wall, you cringe because you don't know what's behind it. I had friends, they ripped out a wall, packing peanuts behind their wall. It happens. Chaka says, see, it's true what I've been preaching. They screw up a simple laser. Chaka preaches the truth, according to Chaka. The Ben Shenanigan says, any work pant recommendations? I'm in the shipyard. I burned through Dickies. Carpenter jeans faster than I like. Really? Because I like the Dickies stuff. Yeah, if you got a problem with that, you got to go with either Carhartt or Duluth.
Yeah, that was the one I was trying to think of.
And Duluth has the nice crotch adjustment kind of stuff for guys. I think you might like that. I like it. There's a Duluth. Every time we go through Salt Lake City, there's a Duluth store there. So if I have time, I try to stop there. Loxney says that would be said Locks, New York. There you go. Fred says, I heard we could be looking at $13 for a 2x4 Unreal 1/2-inch plywood on the board. Oh my gosh, the prices didn't go up, did it? Hold on, I have to look up spot prices on lumber now.
You're going to be more behind.
I'm going to be more behind. Oh, we're up to $667. Oh, wait, I take that back. It got up to $772. We're down to $667. Good grief. Are we doing this again, people? Again? And this apparently lumber's now tied to Bitcoin.
The kids were looking at the lumber yard tonight, and they're like, look at all that wood, all that money.
Yeah.
That's literally what Griffin said.
Mike says, do you still get amazed sometimes about technology? When we were growing up, the closest we got to voice command, I get amazed all the time. Literally. Even though I sit there on my phone, I'll have moments where I'm like, I can't believe I can do all this from my phone. Much less just the technology I have in my shop, much less the kind of tech we've had at places.
Or like photography. Like, remember when you used to take pictures with like those disposable cameras?
Oh
my
gosh.
Mail them away and be like, oh, that was a shot of my finger. Like,
yeah.
Now it's like, oh.
Yeah, you wait 2 weeks, you get it back. Then they had 1 hour photo. Whoa,
super
1 hour
fancy.
Photo. And that was, and now you can just take pictures of anything. And that's the thing, I had to learn. So I was a photographer for yearbook and newspaper. And before you calling me a nerd and geek, I'm talking about high school. I was also on the wrestling team, football, and played hockey. So
you were
shut
super
your pie
nerd,
hole.
is what I'm hearing. Love you. I married you.
You married me for my money. All $5 of it.
Yeah. And half of that's mine.
Let's be honest. You married me for my truck. It had AC. What can you say?
I was going to say air conditioning. I married you for air conditioning.
Anyway, I'm not going to go on with that story. Mohawk says, Jeff opens a box. Why did I pack that? I hate that. I'll send it to Mohawk. I might. You better watch out. Jason says, I've heard nothing but good things about Steel, Husqvarna, battery chainsaws, but my Ryobi 40 volt has been awesome for home. Contractor buddy swears by his Milwaukee. At 40 volts, it's hard to find a bad electric chainsaw. Now, are you going to go out and clear big timber up on the, up in Oregon and Washington with it? No, you're not. But for around the house, the back 40 kind of stuff, you'll be fine. I do have to say, I usually probably recommend Husqvarna over about anything else, pretty much because I like saying Husqvarna. It's fun to say Husqvarna.
That's right.
Matt says, and I had a neighbor had a Husqvarna motorcycle. It was pretty cool. Matt says, I'm just getting into bourbon a bit. I like Four Roses small batch. What's your favorite? My daily drinking, like I'm just feeling poor, is going to be Wild Turkey 101. It's what I grew up with. It's fantastic. It's a fine bourbon. If I'm feeling a little bit frisky, we got a little bit of money in the pocket, and I don't think the missus is going to yell at me for spending too much money. And I tease, she doesn't yell at me. I get the Woodford's Reserve. Woodford's Reserve is my go-to fine sipping whiskey. And then I branch out, and I like to try different things all the time. For those of you who don't know, I'm also the author of the best-selling book in the world, as far as I understand, on how to make whiskey liquor at home, the Home Distiller's Workbook. And so it's kind of a passion for me, trying new stuff, seeing what people are doing. All right, moving on. Frank Landgraf says, is there a place to get a 3XL or larger hoodie? I thought we had one. I thought the main place that we had, the main store had one. I will look into it and I'll send you a message. Antonio says, hey, Jesse, welcome to the Family Live. Good to see you. Michael Chesney says, how did George Thorogood put it? One bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. Anyway.
Yep.
I promise.
This is what he does.
If anybody does a $500 super chat, I promise not to sing for the rest of the evening. Greg Crocker says, got audio, no video. Oh, we're that far behind. Jumpstart with a stun gun. Is that a Harbor Freight camera? Nice. Next whiskey tasting, perhaps Cedar Ridge. It's an Iowa product. I'll take a look for it. Your new shop might be haunted. I'm really bummed. I think I just really killed my main camera. It's this right here. It's not the cheapest camera out there either. So,
is it still under warranty? Oh,
nope.
That's what I thought.
Cincinnati Chili says hello. Oh, why do you do that to me?
Man,
that's not cool, man. You know how long it's been since I've had good Cincinnati Chili, like real Cincinnati Chili?
Talk to our children. They had it more recently than you did. Ow.
Jason says it's like an old radio show. When all else fails, find a bigger hammer. That is so true. Michael says, Jeff's last thing recorded was the camera getting bumped, so replug it in, perhaps. Yeah, maybe. Delaney says, Monty Python reference, and now for something completely different. I love me some Python. Wes says, do you watch Wranglestar YouTube, and what are your thoughts on his new direction here in Les? I like Wranglestar. I know the dude's odd. I'm pretty odd myself. And you got to understand about the way he grew up. That video he did about growing up, I had a buddy who grew up in the same cult, as he called it. And I totally get it. You know, having been friends with him for going on 30 years at this point. And I totally understand why some people, it'll touch you in some weird ways. And
would you like some?
No, I thought you were putting white out on your lips for a second. I'm like, what is she doing?
Wow.
Speaking of touched, Frank wants to know where your headgear is, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I shall return.
That's one way to get rid of her. So, anyway.
Don't make me fall over.
Oh, sorry. Did I do that?
Video again.
I like Wranglestar. I think intrinsically he's a good guy. He's trying to be a moral person. He seems to have a great family. His wife seems fantastic. I mean, all of us guys, we're a little odd, a little off. Some people don't like us, but we have great wives, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I don't watch all of it. I do have to say he gets very clickbaity. Now he's not as bad as, what's his name? Who's that car guy that we see all the time? He does the most clickbaity titles on all of YouTube. I know you know who I'm talking about. The guy with the round glasses who always looks like he's about, half a bottle in.
Ta-da! Tonight.
And I do watch some of his stuff too.
By Ossicone.
Ossicone, nice. All right. And we're back. Fred says, can you believe those blasted mice have gotten into my hot tub, chewed through the water hose? Oh, no. Not the hot tub. Zaff says, hey, Zaff is here. Are you going to get a replacement on your camera with this lifetime warranty? Carson says, do you think we'll get Home Depot Black Friday ads this week? I was thinking this coming week is when that's why I kind of prepped this whole, like, we're getting into Black Friday. But I think, honestly, we're not going to see like the Black Friday leak so much as we're going to get pre-Black Friday sales all the way. They really liked, and so did consumers, the way it worked last year, which is don't wait till the last week. Don't wait till the last day. We want to slide into Black Friday. We don't want to hit a brick wall. No horns or antlers. Kirk actually mentioned it as well.
Sorry. Scotty Kilmer?
Yeah, Scotty Kilmer.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I was running a little late this evening.
Cajun Coin Hunter says, hey, mon ami. Are there Cajun coins? Did the Cajuns mint their own coins?
Of course they
did. Are they made from alligator?
Of course they did.
But yet, are they made from beignets?
No, but I think if you find one, you can get a lot of beignets.
How about a low country boil? I can go for that right now. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just dying for some good seafood. Willhawk says, can you still buy Tack Life on Amazon? You cannot buy anything called Tack Life on Amazon, but you'll see a lot of stuff that sure looks like it's Tack Life, but isn't. Mike Adams says, where were you when the lights camera went out? Nice. We were in the dark. Maybe check if the cam is not set to 480. It won't even power up at this point. Michael says, I use an interesting service. It's near real time. Lightning strikes map. Lets me know where the weather is. Lightning maps works. Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yes. I'm sorry. Who was saying that?
Michael.
Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've mentioned that a couple times, and I have looked it up before. It's very cool.
By the way, Michael, I forgot to reply to your email about you high-fiving death. That was pretty awesome. I like that. Fred says, Colorado is exploding with distilleries. Oh, really? They must have gotten some good, I was a big push for legalized distilling. I got to tell you, I used to love Mythbusters, but they really ticked me off when they did their do stills explode. And it's like, myth is, justified or whatever. They had to put it in an enclosure, very small, drill a hole in it and cause it to explode. The only thing they didn't do was put a stick of dynamite under it. And as far as I know, they might have. It's complete BS. Every time, I've done a ton of research over the years. Every time a still has made the news by exploding, it's always been the fuel source. Somebody left it unattended. They put the propane tank too close, or they didn't have the hose attached properly. And it was always the fuel source that was the problem. It was never the vapors leaking out causing it to explode. Yes, if you're got your still in a closet and you've like siliconed all the corners,
educational purposes.
Oh, it was clearly a hit piece that their producers told them that they had to do, and my guess is the government told them that they had to make it look that way. Michael Chesney says, nice thing about downhill is the bounce at the bottom.
Sorry, Zaphiel says, this Mythbusters episode sponsored by the ATF.
Yeah,
that
exactly. Sorry, I got fleas, she gives me fleas. It's terrible. She makes me itch. Futono2, hey man, says, must be the GoPro camera. The other two had much better picture. No, this is a Logitech webcam, legit webcam.
No, I thought he was talking about the other camera, but
this is my GoPro right now. It's not hooked up. I got two of them. Neither of them are hooked up. I don't know where the other one is. It's around here somewhere. Robert says, by the way, Jeff went to Harbor Freight about the discontinuation of Harbor Freight XC. It's not going to be discontinued. It's still available. I went to them too, and they did say they were being discontinued. The cordless stuff is being discontinued. So I don't know what sources are. Who knows? David says, totally interested in the new channel. Michael says, den of deals. See if you can get some left-handed metric screwdrivers. Nice. Julio says, what's the best metal cutting chop saw that won't break the bank? Oh my gosh. Well, that's a huge question. I'll be honest. I'm a big fan of cold cut saws. Abrasive saws throw a ton of sparks. They chew up through abrasive discs. And, I did a video taking a $70 Hart, 7 1/4 inch miter saw, put one of those Diablo Demon steel cut blades on it. And I was cutting, square stock with it like butter. And you could pick it up afterwards. That's the other thing. You pick up an abrasive cut and you're like, well, don't go near it because you're going to weld yourself to it, get a good burn out of it. This thing, you pick it up, you could touch the cut right afterwards. Fantastic.
Simply Small Engine Repair with a $2 super chat. Hey, thank you so much. Says, you back in Nevada? We
Nope.
are not. We are still in Montana.
So we got rid of, so the house in Vegas was a house that we had, first we had our own house, and then that got sold out from under us. And we were looking to get another house, at which point my ex-wife was like, hey, I've got this huge house. It's just me. Why don't you guys share the house? And then that'll cover some expenses, everything else. And so we did that. Very interesting situation. A lot of people were like, so 2 wives? Well, I'm like, yeah, we're Mormons. And just left it at that. It was easier than explaining it. And then people would leave you alone. So win-win. And but anyway, things changed, life changed. She had to move to someplace in a different part of town due to business and stuff. So we gave up that house, and now we're looking for a new domicile. And part of the thing, what we're thinking, which is part of the reason, justification why I bought the bigger truck, is just to buy a large trailer or fifth wheel, tow it down there, and find a long stay site and stay there for like 3 months at a time. Zaffa says, will USA v Craftsman be warranty replaced for old school USA? That's interesting. That's a good question. I have not heard. They won't talk to me. They won't talk to me at all. I was talking to Rob over at Belts and Boxes, and he was like, oh, I was talking to the Dewalt guys, blah, blah. I'm like, must be nice because they won't talk to me at all. I'm on their do not call list. Apparently, if you say not nice things about them and you're honest about what the things they're doing, they blacklist you. Wes says, I mean, I don't know if you, not to be bitter, but I don't know if you saw their whole battery thing. They had all sorts of social media types there, people with like 10, 16,000 subscribers. Me? No. Didn't even tell me what was going on. Wes says, what are your thoughts on the Hart tool line as a whole? I've been picking some up of their power tools for the past year. I must say they are good, if not better than Craftsman. I like the stuff. All right. Remember, it's made by TTI. It's basically a cost-valued version of Ryobi with the better battery platform. The best thing about them is when they go on closeout sales. They're just ridiculous sales on stuff. I've got so many things in the Hart line for like $20 that were normally $60. They're fantastic. Go ahead.
Simply Small Engine with another $2 super chat says, man, I wanted to have a beer with you. You were close. Well,
where was I?
I think when we were in Vegas.
Oh.
So when we're back in Vegas, we don't make it a secret. Reach out to us. I'm sure you guys can hang out and have a beer. Chris with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you with the odd numbers. Good evening, all. Friendly reminder to chomp the like button and do all the YouTube things. Thank you so much. I even remembered to chomp the like button.
Did you? But did you remember to check us out on social media such as Instagram and Facebook? Sorry, I'm having too much fun with my new animations.
There's also a thing I don't know what it is. No, it's like, Simply Small Engine Repair. You joined the club.
Always remember.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I am having some trouble with the notifications on here. Like I could see that somebody joined, but it didn't tell me a name. So if I miss,
trying to get me.
That's right. Mwahaha. So I didn't see your name before. So thank you so much for joining.
Real quick, since we've been talking about made in America products and stuff like that, I have to call this out. This is a new.
I was made in America.
I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
My new DFM right angle gauge here. Very excited about it.
Wait, no, I think you mean mine.
What? Why?
I want it.
What are you going to do with
I'll
it?
get back in just a minute. It's blue.
It's blue. Shiny.
It's shiny.
Her crow DNA just got triggered. Let's see here.
Super cool.
Fred says, here, the colder it gets, the mice go indoors. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it's about time to break out the old mice trap. We got one of those mice ramps with the diving board on it. Caught so many mice last year.
Yeah.
Tossed them out, but the kids wouldn't let me kill them. So I had to put them in a bucket, take them out, dump them in the field. Owls come by. It was a buffet.
Yeah. It's we're helping the ecosystem.
The circle of life.
That's right.
Told you, $500. I'll stop singing. Michael says, early electronic products death is called infant mortality in the trade. There you go.
Whoa.
When your new product fails upon arrival, it looks real bad when it happens. It does. It does. Having been in the industry and done some work with manufacturers, infant mortality is one term. Another term talking about how often something dies and when it's scheduled to die is mean. Was it mean runtime between failures kind of thing? They know when things are going to die and how often they die, and you just the best tools out there, the best cars, the best anything. I like to say we bought like something. I think it was like a $60,000 server from IBM. It came in, opened it up, unboxed it, plugged it in, dead. I'm never buying from IBM again. Well, Frank says, when people throw the ball in the stands when winning, who knew that it's not a good idea bowling?
Oops.
That's pretty funny. David says we have both chest and upright freezers. Upright freezers these days tend to last longer. That's interesting. Spectre, how's it going, my man?
Hey.
Do you think Milwaukee pack out on the Dolly is a good alternative to a tool cart for a garage? I do-ish. So that's kind of what I did with the VersaStack system in Vegas, because I knew we'd be moving and shuffling around. That's why I got all the drawer systems for it. And in fact, I have more drawer systems, shut up, Moto, than anything else. And it's great like that. I wish they had more options that would go that route. That's why I keep talking about the Ryobi system they came out with, because it's got like lift up, open cabinet kind of options and the same kind of thing. Carson says, do you have any experience with the Makita subcompact line? I do, but it was from years and years ago, but I thought it was fantastic. And I don't see it changing a whole lot. Most people I know think it's fantastic. It's not a super heavy duty kind of thing, but the whole point is being compact is it gets into tight, easy to use kind of, or hard to get to kind of places. Zaf says, what's the R value on packing peanuts? Asking for her friend. I will ask my friend, and when she gets back to me, I'll let you know. She's got all sorts of stories about her house. Santiago says, I need me a good deal on M18 fuel hammer drill and impact combo. Can you talk to someone about that? I'm also on the do not talk list with Makita. You got to go to some trade shows with me. It's hilarious. I walk in, they look at my badge. I walk into the Makita booth every time, and they're like, oh, you're blah, blah, blah. You're an influencer. That'd be great. We'd love to talk to you. And then they go back and they talk to somebody. They come back and they're like, yeah, here's my email. Email us sometime.
Yeah.
They hate me.
And then we never hear back.
You know why? Because they can't take a joke. I've been told by somebody it was the Makita sucks, Dewalt sucks videos that got me blacklisted.
Wahawk says we need a shut up moto graphic, like that you could. I'm assuming that you. Could
I do
throw
have
up.
one.
We do. We have like a sticker, but I think he means.
No, I've got a graphic.
Oh.
Read some stuff. I'll put the graphic up.
Read some stuff. Excellent.
No.
Tom A says, at the Den of Tools, still looking for Friday Night Live with you and the missus. Drinking, smiley face.
That's on the Bear's Den, but she probably won't be here because she doesn't like it when she doesn't like the smell of whiskey, much less cigars.
Yeah. Simply Small Engine Repair says, you better come back soon to avoid the snow, my friend.
Oh,
We're not going to be able to avoid
we already got the snow.
Yep. Killing 110 says, at Den of Tools, take away her giraffe ears. Come on now. Really?
Are you kidding? I want to live.
Really?
I want to live.
They're called ossicones, my friend. Perry Meat says, hi from Canada. Hello. Mark Olson says, LOL, owl buffet. That's right. Santiago Ayala?
Now I got my graphic.
That's right. At the Den of Tools, what is the best HD in Vegas?
Home Depot?
I'm visiting my brother in a few weeks.
The one in Henderson. That's right on... What is that that goes down there? It's not the 15. The one
I love how
towards
he asks
Phoenix.
me. I know nothing.
I'm terrible with like street names. I always remember. I have a, what do they call it? An eidetic memory. So I remember things as images, snapshots, and I'm like, I can run my mind. I can picture it as I'm coming over the pass. You're looking down. It's right over there. And then the pass. It's the scientific term for a photographic memory.
Sure it is. I'll be looking that up later. Simply Small Engine Repair says, LOL, he thinks he's in charge, but we all know Mama Bear has sharper claws.
Oh, that's so true. Right. So true. I can be snarky and silly. She won't rip your heart right out. Let's see here.
That's why you leave the cubs alone.
Yeah. Frank says, when you get 2x4s, when 2x4s get traded on Wall Street.
Yep.
And Dutch, I'm not going to try the last half there. Yeah, no, I am. Yeah.
Okay,
There we go.
seriously, pet peeve of mine. Please tell us how to say your last name and where it's from.
She says, hey guys, just bought my first home. Congratulations. That's fantastic. There's nothing like the joy of owning your first domicile.
Yeah.
I'm looking at getting blinds and didn't realize they are so expensive. Yes, they are.
Yep.
It's ridiculous how much they are.
You start
Especially
thinking,
the wood panel ones.
You started thinking, maybe I will just put sheets up. Like, you're like, which ones face the street? We'll just put wood on those.
Yeah, I've totally been there.
Yep.
And here's my heartache. I love blinds. She likes drapes. I hate drapes. They get dirty. They're just filters for crud. I hate them. Mark says, wife scored chicken thighs for 99 cents a pound, and we vac seal 15 pounds. That's the score of the day.
That
99 cents a
awesome.
pound.
By the way, I have chicken cooking away at home.
Ooh, chicken.
Yep. Chicken
Spectre
tikka
says,
masala.
I bought a new U.S. General cart and had rust on the interior. Do you have any recommendations on a good rust inhibitor or remover? Depends on how much rust there is. If it's only a little bit of rust, a bright pad and some WD-40, one of those Scotch Brite pads, and WD-40 will get rid of it. If it's a lot, I would take it back and have them replace it. At the very least, give you a discount on it. There's a bunch of different rust, like, what was it? Oleum rust remover, rust, whatever. Harbor Freight even sells it. Basically, what I found of all the kind of rust stuff out there is it all works. It's just how much you spend is how fast it works. Now, WD-40 does not get rid of rust, but it's a good, quick semi-lubricant for using abrasives to get through the rust. Ken says, Cedar Ridge whiskey from Iowa is the best corn whiskey. Well, you put an E in it, which means that it's whiskey. Unless it's rye whiskey, it's corn whiskey. I grew up in Iowa. Both parents, sides of the families are from Iowa. So I'm an Iowa boy, Cornhusker through and through. But that said, I'm also a whiskey man. So I have to try it. Where do they make it? I want to find out that. Thoughts on Toolbox widgets? I don't know. There's all sorts of widgets for toolboxes.
Which ones?
And you know me, I love gadgets and widgets, so.
Simply Small Engine Repair with the $2 super chat. Thank you again. More money. Got to go edit a video. Love you guys.
Love you too, man. Have a good
great
one.
Night.
Who was that?
It was Simply Small Engine Repair.
Oh, yeah.
And we will give a heads up when we are headed back to Vegas.
I got to check on that. Remind me to check on this because
Check on which?
Because I think I got unsubscribed from him because I was subscribed.
Well, actually, that brings up a really good point. I think we talked about it last week, if not last week, the week before. People have really been getting unsubscribed. I've been getting See, I don't even need to drink. Can't speak English.
Yeah,
People
I'm not
have
subscribed,
been
and I
getting
totally was.
Unsubscribed to channels. So make sure, go through.
Yeah,
if
check
you
your-
haven't seen somebody in a while that you really love watching.
Not just us.
Yeah,
everybody.
not just us, like anybody. Just make sure that you are subscribed because that is a bummer.
Because you'll find out a year or two from now, you're like, what happened to so-and-so?
Right. You're like, they fell off the planet. And you're like, no, they didn't. They just unsubscribed. Not them, but YouTube.
Lakshmi says, I switched from Dewalt XRP 18 volt to the Makita LXT 18 volt. I drill 8-inch holes in doors all day. Way better job. Oh, yeah, that's a huge jump. Reed says, getting into a second tool line, should I go Bauer or Ryobi? Here's my take on this. If you find yourself at Harbor Freight all day long, go with Bauer. If you find yourself at Home Depot all day long, get Ryobi. Bauer has a lot of the kind of fun stuff. Like, I still have to do a video on it. And you know what? I'm going to try. Remind me to do it this week. I got to do the Bauer versus Ryobi glue gun. And saying that, there are channels that listen to my live streams to get ideas. And you'll find if you go back for years, we'll talk about, hey, we should do a video on this. And the next week's one of these channels will do it. I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are.
And you said Bauer versus Ryobi.
Yeah, glue gun. Because I can have both of them. They're right. If I can get my head out of the way, they're right. They're both sitting right there.
Yeah.
Wait, let me.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
see. Mm-hmm. All right, I take it back. The Bauer scene there. I don't know where the Ryobi went to. It's on the desk.
Simply Small Engine Repair says, "Here's more money. Thanks for the sub, my friend.
Woo!
You totally don't have
No,
to pay
thank
us
you.
to
It's
sub
a
you,
great
but
channel.
super great channel.
I love fixing small engines because they're so simple. They're simple, basic systems. And you can do all sorts of stuff with them, and he's got a great channel for that. But anyway, you can't go wrong with either the Bauer or the Ryobi. Ryobi has more of the weird, cool stuff. I will say that. But if you don't really want to go that far deep, like we at home, we use Bauer. And if you go in our mudroom, which is where our tool shelves are, it's all Bauer stuff. We do have some Ryobi stuff, but the Ryobi stuff we use at home is specifically we bought for doing PEX installations. Yes, dear.
I'm reading. I'm making sure we're not.
Fred says, "Are you single malt or blended?"
I straight up thought he was asking if you were single.
Okay. For you, Fred? Always. No. First of all, you're talking about Scotch whiskey, and there's no E in Scotch whiskey. Whiskey is properly spelled Whiskey. And I hope I spelled that right. And I don't drink Scotch because Scotch is for people who wear skirts. I kid you not. She's desperate to get me to wear a kilt.
Okay. This is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't lie. And no, I don't like Scotch. To me, it smells like fertilizer. The peat moss thing just gets to me. I'm not a Scotch fan, just not. I don't really usually care for blended whiskeys. I don't drink Irish whiskey, and I don't drink Canadian whiskey because of that. I drink bourbon. I'll drink Tennessee whiskey. I will drink tequila. I will drink rum. Probably rum over tequila. Those are my go-to. Is bourbons and bourbon-like products, rum, and then tequila. Those are my three main choices. I can drink about anything. I mean, I can sit down and I can have a scotch. I can have vodka if I have to. Every once in a while, though, I do have a craving for a good gin. But a good
I don't
gin.
know why. I don't think anyone should crave gin.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank goodness he's not opinionated.
No. And, folks, now you understand why I got into YouTube, because they have these opinions. They're just trying to get out. They're like a chest burster, trying to get out.
Yeah, and they're
fighting their way out. Kenya. All right, let's see here. Mr. Bryan says, "Howdy, guys. Hercules sliding miter saw and stand Black Friday price prediction." I think I answered that one already. I don't know if the stand will go on sale, but I think the saw will come down to the low 300s. Michael says, "Yeppers, that photo's getting giggles. Almost as good as a day with the C4 brick in the shorts."
Yep.
Chris, Glenfiddich. I had a buddy who loved Glenfiddich. Not for me.
But I think it was when we were talking about Scotty Kilmer.
Scotty Kilmer, 4.62 million followers. Maybe I need to do more clickbait titles. That's what that's telling me. Cajun Coin Hunter says, "My uncle started in 1958. He sold and repaired TVs and all electronic equipment, radios. Such name as Lovelace Liquette. Liquette. My French is rusty. My Cajun's rustier. Used to lease my 18-wheeler to Port Ag long ago." Wow, Port Ag. Wohawk says, "No, I mean actual tack life. I bought a rotary tool that was stolen with my cordless tools. I looked up that exact tool after they banned, and it's still there." You'll find them there, but look at who the seller is. And you'll find a lot of people who are clearing out some secondhand kind of stuff. Michael says, "Tough to get liquor to explode. Burn, yeah, but bang, not likely." Yeah, it has to be a straight up vapor. Fred says, that's why, I love that movie. I don't know, a lot of people cringe at it, but Waterworld. And at the end, when the guy drops the match or whatever, or cigar or whatever it is, into the oil tanker, and the old guy's like, "Oh, thank God." Yeah, that's just going to go out. Unless that stuff's been heated and there's a vapor layer formed over it. It's the vapor that goes boom. The liquid doesn't do anything. That's why you have to have a carburetor or fuel injection to make it work. Fred says, "How is the homeschooling going? This crap about the schools board's making me sick."
Yep.
I don't want to get banned off of YouTube, which is why I'm not going to give an opinion on the school boards, much less the National Institute of School.
Yep. It's going great. We're doing great. We're not having any interruptions. Moving on.
Oh, I'm so opinionated on that. Oh, did you see the whole conversation where what's his name was cross-examining the U.S. AG? What a schmuck that dude is.
And
the AG.
We're getting away from politics. Yep.
Back butt running late. Bower blower any good? It is. I think it's
Gary.
probably one of the best 20-volt blowers I've used. And that may be entirely because it's got the little focusing ring that condenses it down to give you more, more power per square inch on it. But it is better than any 20-volt I've used. Doesn't hold a candle to a 40-volt, much less anything bigger. Wings and pizza. Oh, please tell me you're bringing me some. Would you say Ryobi and Craftsman power tools are in the same realm in regards to quality? No. I would say that Ryobi's better. And I'll stand by that. Now, you may pick, there's this one item that if you buy this one, it totally blows yeah, that's fine. Look at the whole ecosystem and look at, on average, how they perform. If you look at brushless to brushless, dollar to dollar, Ryobi's going to win. Yes, I know Torque Test loves the Craftsman impact wrenches, and they may be great. They may honestly be great. But that doesn't mean they equate to Craftsman or Ryobi across the line.
Hey, Groovejet, I see you're here.
Hey, England in the house.
Yep.
England has entered the chat. What's up, my former subjects? James Brown. I got to tell you, James, and I know you get this all the time, but there is an old techno song called James Brown is Dead.
Oh, my gosh.
That every time I see your name, it kicks off in the back of my head. You gotta look it up. It's a fantastic groove. Buffalo Trace is good, 20-ish model. They are the same distillery, make Papa Van Winkle. I love my Woodford Reserve, similar price point. I'd also go with is Basil Hayden and Jefferson. Not a fan of Basil Hayden. Jefferson, Pappy has some good stuff. Of course, I love me the Woodfords. Buffalo Trace, I just can't get down with. They were the first guys to do the small barrels. They reduced the barrel size to 5 gallons to do faster aging by reducing the portion of alcohol to the barrels. And I don't think it's quite the same thing. It's not terrible, bourbon. It's not my favorite. Killing 110 says, take her giraffe ears away. Nope, not happening tonight. She's got the keys to the truck. Tom Ace is still looking for Friday Night Live. We talked about that. Okay, we talked about, I was at the store the other day, the ringtone. Oh, Daft Lever says, I was at the store the other day, heard that ringtone and said, shut up, Moto, out loud. That you're probably like the 5th person this week that's told me that. We're going to have to start a support group. And Justin says, I was actually insulated a government build basement with packing peanut. Oh, you really good enough for government work, good enough for the house, right? Could be.
Chris says, good night, all. Gotta go. 3:30 comes way too early. I totally understand. Be safe. I think about you a lot. So I totally understand.
Who was that?
Chris. The one that works on the...
Oh, it's not Chris.
You're on an oil rig, right? I believe. Anyways, just be safe.
In fact, funny that the next comment was his, which is he's correct. The medical term for photographic memory.
Yeah. I know that you pay him to back you up on these terms.
William says, sounds like a crazy question, but would a freezer work in a garage if it's well below freezing?
Well, I mean, a freezer is...
Just leave it open.
Freeze. Oh, that would be a bin.
Don't plug it in. Leave it open. Really great power ratings
Just
on
put
that.
some snow on top. You're good.
Santiago says he's in Centennial Hills or something like that, and we go over by Decatur, Charleston. I'll look around in Henderson for some M18 deals. Oh, I forgot the one up on the north side. It's a good one up there, but it's not as good as the one down in Henderson. Centennial's, I got a buddy who lives up there, really exploding. My gosh. Chris is in the house. Hey, Montana, hope Red Bear is okay. He's doing good. He's taking a nap tonight. Spider-Man sheets as drapes. Frank, you're hilarious. Fred says, sorry, missed your answer. What are your single malt blend?
I think that you answered it so much later that he probably heard.
I don't drink scotch.
That is the
or
short
blended.
version.
Corn Huskers are Nebraska. They are. I used to live in just outside. Oh, I lived in Omaha. In fact, I played football for Millard North. Fred says, that's happening a lot to me. Zach says, when do you think the new Dewalt Impact will be in stock in Home Depot? Boy, you guys are asking a lot. With shipping stuff this day, week and a half. Michael says, Bauer versus Ribey laser pointer issues, perhaps. I believe the Bauer's got a drop shadow light. No problem there. Fred says, Bear, are you in your garage? Nope, we're in our shop. We rented a shop downtown. We don't have a garage at our house, so shop.
Well, we do. It's just very open air.
Yeah, it's an open air shop. Very hippie kind of thing.
Yep.
Peace, love, snow. Cody says, where can I get metal testing plates for practicing groove welding? Scrapyard? Fred says, I love my Bauer. And Michael says, is a 20-volt blower combo $69 from Hart. It sounds like a good deal if it comes with the battery and the charger. And Santiago says, people who like vodka like their steaks well done. Did you hear that, dear?
I did, and I do.
You are a sinner on so many levels. I cringe every time she orders steak. And he goes, and he comments that I am that person. Jason says, don't knock scotch until you've had a good... My buddy, who is one who got me into tech, he's a high-level, just ridiculously high-level programmer. So he's had so many Corvettes. He's wrecked them all. And he only drinks just ridiculously expensive scotch. And every time we'd sit down, it was this thing. There was this whole thing where Sanjay Gupta the other day replied, have you ever had... He's like, I sat down with, what was it? Who was he talking to?
I can see his face.
The bald, crazy dude who has all the people on Spotify. Anyway, Joe Rogan.
Yes. I'm like, what's
So anyway,
his name?
he's like, we sat there for like 3 hours. I've never had a 3-hour conversation before. And I sat there and looked at him like, you've never sat down for 3 hours.
I know. That was weird.
My friends back in the day when I lived in California, we would sit down and we'd hang out in the backyard and we'd sit there and drink and we would talk for, like, we'd sit down at like 8, 9 o'clock and talk till the sun came up.
Well, I mean, I get that you're not a girl, but like a teenage girl, you spend hours talking to your friends about everything.
Yeah, anyway, I'm teasing you. Anyway, so he'd always like, I'd sit down and we'd all bring, our drink of choice. And I always brought the bourbon. There's somebody drinking vodka. There'd be somebody, drinking beer. And then my buddy who'd bring the scotch, always a nice super high end single malt. He's like, oh, you got to try this one. I'm like, nope, still smells like the home and garden department. Sale aisle 5, home and garden. Get your peat moss.
Yes, he's very opinionated and stubborn.
Don't knock scotch till you had good smell. They don't have that peat smoke flavor. That's such a love-hate thing. I've had all the scotches. As part of when I was still writing in that industry and doing stuff, I've tried it all. Not a fan of any of the scotches. There's some that are less annoying than others. Dwayne says, try Irish single malt. You'll love it. Here's a question for you. Do you guys know the difference, what the real point of single versus double malt is? Did I give you a couple seconds to answer? I can't see. They're typing in. We'll answer in just a second. Don't look. Don't
What?
look. I quizzed them to see if they actually know what single versus double malt is.
Okay, I thought you were talking to me. I was about to read a super chat. Crazy. Hey, don't touch the accounts. Halen Wolf, the $5 super chat. Hey, Halen. Joe Rogan took Sanja to the whooping shed.
Oh.
It was brutal to watch.
Brutal. And then he comes back and says, I thought he was going to attack me over the table. What a Karen. And I don't like using that term, but my gosh, what a Karen about that. Anyway, it's how many rows there are on the grain. The grain either has a single row or it's got 2 rows of grains. And single row is more expensive because you have to buy more stocks to go with it. Robert says, hey, hi from me and the Flying Half. We are in Ohio taking care of her mom.
Oh.
Glad you're there being with family. Sorry you're in Ohio.
Ohio's amazing.
I lived in Ohio
Maybe
for 10 years. I can say what I want to say about Ohio.
Maybe they're going to jungle gyms.
Maybe they're bringing me chili.
No, maybe they're eating chili. Chili doesn't really travel. Well.
Robert, yeah, it does. In the can, you're supposed to order it. You never order from me. You hate me.
That's
Robert,
right.
sorry, we just said that. Group Jet says, howdy, guys. Chad, okay, you read that one. Michael says, how's about the historical figures? William Kemmler, August. What? Speaking of which, speaking of history, I got contacted by, I think it's the History Channel. They're doing a series called Modern History Masters. And they're reaching out to a bunch of social media types. I'm like, oh, if you want to see me get embarrassed, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but we're talking about it.
I think that sounds cool.
Yeah. Fred says, I didn't know they burned the barrels and only use those barrels once. Didn't know you don't age whiskey. It's only good for 5 years. Is that all true? No. So whiskey does get aged. And to be bourbon in the United States, it has to be in new white oak charred barrels. They can only be used once. Bourbon can be aged up to, I think the most I've seen is like 12 years. Honestly, anything past 7 is going too far. Whiskey is not supposed to be as smooth and sophisticated as a Scotch. It's supposed to kick you in the ass and let you know it's there. And then those barrels get taken and they get shipped often overseas and they get used for sherry and wines and a lot of other different types of liquors and wines.
Were you just watching a program about that, or was that just me independently that was watching
I don't know.
about that? Did you just watch a program about
I don't know.
that?
I'm always watching stuff about that.
Yeah, I think that was me. I think I was watching it.
Groove just said, you're on the ball tonight. Thank you so much. Ned says, what direction do you think Craftsman is headed? Will they be at the level of the other top tier? No, they will not be. They don't want to compete with Dewalt. In fact, if you've seen, it looks like Mac is getting taken down a notch, and maybe Dewalt is Mac tools might be going away. They might just keep the Mac cabinets. They've gotten rid of the Mac ratchets, and now it's just Dewalt ratchets. So I'm predicting that that's what's going to happen with Mac. Mac power tools are going to go away. They're going to be replaced by Dewalt. Craftsman's always going to be the weekend warrior DIY brand, the prosumer grade one. They're going to have the V level that's going to be like for the value-minded pro, but they're never going to replace DeWalt.
Halen Wolf says, at the Den of Tools, they revealed a new license plate for Ohio. Everyone except the designer, governor, and everyone else saw it first, didn't catch the error. Does everyone know the error that they're talking about?
It was backwards. Yeah. They had the banner flying off the front of the plane. And I get it. If you don't understand aeronautics, and you don't understand history, and you don't understand the way I can't remember the name of what the name of the Wright brothers plane was. I saw it as a little kid.
Why is it blue?
The plane's not blue. I accidentally highlighted text and she's all freaked out because it's blue. So thanks for interrupting my statement. I saw it at the Smithsonian when I was little. I remember thinking then, it looks backwards. And my dad explained it. No, that's just the way they controlled it. The ailerons or whatever you want to call it were up front. The Wallhawk says, still haven't pulled the trigger on a new battery line. Should I be concerned that Hart is getting clearance so often? I think that it's a typical Walmart thing. I don't think Walmart wants to get rid of Hart. They're looking to expand the Hart line through the rest of the store. They're just clearing out stuff that isn't working and finding stuff that does. I've got 2 of the Hart tables right. I like my new flashlight pointer. Right there and right there. That's two of the heart tables. I love them, but they replaced those with what honestly in my mind are a cheaper version of it. And maybe that's what they needed. They needed a cheaper price point to sell at Walmart. They're awesome though. Jennifer Whitewolf says, no gin ever. Dark rum, dark always. Light rum is for making punch drinks with and putting umbrellas in, feeling festive or banana daiquiris. And I hate to admit it, but I love me a banana daiquiri. In the summer, oh yeah. Best sipping a good U.S. bourbon like Woodford's. Also great sipping. No need for any other spirits. Probably true. A good tequila though. A good tequila. I did some contract work and helped design a couple distilleries in the southern Baja Peninsula, and so I got to taste some really good craft tequila. It's good stuff. And working with agave is just magical. That is amazing. An amazing plant. Wings and Pizza. Love that name. Also, just wanted to say I really enjoy the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly series. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Jackal GB says, used to love Jack Daniels and Jim Beam, but whiskey just made me angry. Switched to rum, Jamaican rum, Appleton Estate. Plantation's my fave. I love good Jamaican rums. I've been to Jamaica a couple times. There's nothing, you can't go wrong with a good Jamaican rum. That said, I stopped drinking Jack Daniels and Jim Beam when they dropped down to 80 proof these days. They used to be, back, if you guys don't know, back in the day, Jack Daniels and Jim Beam used to be a 90, 96 proof drink, but they lowered it down for American palates and done with them. Do you think Flex will do a Black Friday? I know for a fact Flex will be doing Black Friday sales or pre-Black Friday, easing on in. I've got insider picks already of some of the pods going down on the floor that have Flex tools in them. Fred says, not happy. I lost my wedding ring of over 35 years. It's in the house. Hopefully I can find it. Got jury duty on the 9th of November. First time in over 20 years. First thing is, when you walk in for jury duty, tell them, fry them. Don't wait to hear anything about it. They'll kick you and let you go home. That said, really sorry about the ring. I don't wear mine very often. If you guys notice, I don't ever wear any jewelry. If we go on a date night or someplace where I have to be presentable, I will get mine out. I keep it in the gun safe at home. It's in its little box in the safe, nice, where I can't possibly lose it. I'm not a jewelry person. It just gets to me, any kind. In fact, the glasses I wear always have to be super lightweight, high-end, expensive glasses because I don't want to feel that I'm wearing glasses. I'm really sorry about your ring. I hope you find it. I'm sure it's in the house somewhere. GrooveJet says, you guys have a system to read out chat, but also like that you could scan for comments that require a shout out sooner. Good job. Thank you so much. We're a team. That's the best thing about being married to a wonderful partner. She's always there to handle the stuff that you can't get to. Halen says, what the heck is with the mood lighting tonight? Don't you like it? It's very, we're trying to be, we're streamers here on YouTube. We're going to start a gaming channel and do all sorts of Roblox and stuff. Oh my God. Gosh, excuse me. I just didn't mean to say that. The Cubs are always trying to get me to play Roblox with them. What are your predictions for free tool options for Makita this year for Black Friday? I think we're going to see a lot of the same stuff. You buy the core combo kit and there'll be stuff like Circ saw, drill impact, maybe a hammer drill if you're lucky, probably an impact wrench, but a lower end impact wrench. Gary says, I thought this was a podcast. Maybe it should be. Fred says, do you love the view of all the container ships off the shore of LA? It's ridiculous, isn't it? It is. We've got viewers down there and they text me. They're like, it's worse than it's ever been. It's going to be bad. So bad. Mater says, I got notice of you being live while shopping at Walmart. Hey, Mater, how's it going? Speaking of which, if you see a good deal on a trike, let me know. Don't tell the missus. Fred Hill says, do you like Johnny Walker? I don't like Johnny Walker. It's a scotch. Can I drink it? I've drank it. I've had red. I've had blue. I've had all of it. And, I don't mind. People saw, I did a quick little short video where I got a $125 shot of brandy, or was it, cognac. That was actually pretty good, but I wouldn't drink that all the time. Thad says, I found a Ridgid cast iron table saw for $525. The waiting finally paid off. Congrats on that one. And let's see here. Oh, she's back. We got to stop talking about her again. Gary says, what do you suggest to do with all your tools if you have to give them away? Serious question. Well, that's a good question. It depends on what situation you're in. If you got to donate them, I would find a school or something like that to donate them to. Find somebody who can use them. If you don't need the money, don't try selling them because, my gosh, it'll hurt. It'll hurt all day long. People think, well, I've paid all this money for this tool and they're good tools and I'll get at least, 80% or 70% or even half. If you got to sell them, you're not going to get half. I would think your quickest and best way to do it would be find a trade school or find a high school that's got a shop.
Yeah.
My son goes to a school like that down in Vegas. Find somebody who needs that kind of tools, and we'll put them to good use, helping the next generation get started.
By the way, we
yes.
have a friend of the family who just got into UTI. That
Really?
Mechanic program. Yep.
That's awesome. That's not a urinary tract infection, right?
I know. It's a terrible name.
Scott says, I'm a gunsmith. Woohoo! Good for you. Any opinions on Eklund, T-handle, Allens versus Bondhouse? I like the Eklund. I don't currently have any. I've got a whole set that was sent to me. I was going to buy some new ones. I got a whole set that was sent to me by Gear Wrench. They're really nice, but honestly, I would get the Eklund. I will say this. I've got a set of punches for that kind of stuff from, Tecton. I love them. They're fantastic. Anyway, congratulations. That's an awesome business to get into. Let's see here. Hold on. We already read the Neil and Wolf there. Did you read this next one?
No. Can you believe our heater tech told us their heater units are back ordered out to 8 weeks? We bought a new hot tub. We're looking at May or June before it will ship. Oh.
What's the point?
Yeah.
James Brown says, great show. Have an early morning tomorrow. Y'all take care. You too.
Thank you.
Oren says, I prefer YouTube. Nobody wants to pay $100 for cable just to have their History Channel be Spike TV-esque reality junk shows. I totally agree with you. We don't have cable. We haven't had cable for decades at this point.
And I feel like there is so much, especially with homeschooling and stuff, there's just so much that you can find if you just look online.
I'll say this. We talked about it, and I told her, I think we should cancel cable. She's like, okay, this is 12 years ago.
He loves this story.
And no, you love this story. And so I went to work, sat there, had a break at lunch, got on the phone, called the cable company, canceled it. They cut it that day. 30 minutes later, I get a phone call. Our cable's out. I called them. They said you canceled it.
Yep.
I'm like, I said we were going to do that. But you didn't say you were going to do it right now.
I might have burnt the house down, except that we lived in like a high, whatever. We lived in an apartment building, and innocent other people's houses would have burned down.
Yeah.
But I was breathing fire.
I'm like, we've gone through this in our relationship. I say I'm going to do something.
Yep.
And for some reason, it does not register to her.
No, it's because men
that
and
I'm
women
actually
communicate differently.
going to do it.
No, men and women communicate differently. We've had this discussion.
Yeah, women say they're going to do it. They never do it.
No, I will stab you with something sharp. No, it's that we have a discussion, and like, how many times have I called you and said, hey, I'm here at blah, blah, blah. I'm about to buy blah, blah, blah. And you're like, why are you calling me?
Yeah.
Because women have a discussion, and then we
have 5 more discussions.
Right. Men are like, I'm going to do this thing, I think, maybe. And then they do
no,
it. And we're like,
I say,
what?
I'm going to do this thing, and then I do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science.
I'm just saying men and women communicate differently.
You don't want to see the rocket I build. It's bad. But if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And then you're stunned I did it.
And then I'm behind the plexiglass trying not to be
Yes.
killed by the shrapnel that's flying.
Anyway,
through the sky.
Steven says, hey, boss, with the new better batteries coming out of Ryobi, do you think they are better tool brand ecosystem than other affordable brands such as Hart? I hate the battery platform. I have Ryobi tools. Every time I pick one up, I go, oh, it's got this giant boat anchor on the bottom of it. It's ridiculous. Are they a good tool to brand to get into? I do not hate anybody who's like, Ryobi's my brand, and I'm with them. They've got a ton of fantastic tools. I have probably at this point half a dozen or so Ryobi tools. They've got a lot of great specialty stuff. I mentioned the PEX kind of stuff as well. I've got their HP tools. I've got a bunch of the dedicated stuff. I've got the glue gun and some of the other stuff. They're fantastic tools. If I can get the same tool in Heart, I'm going to get the Heart. And I'm just hoping the batteries are going to keep up with the Heart in the way they do with the stuff with Ryobi. Fred says, how far is your shop from the house? Will you be in January? Where will you be in January 2? It is less than 5 minutes. It's like literally I could walk out our front door, trip and roll down the hill and end up at my shop. It is across the tracks, and we're in the middle. We're like the main drag strip of you understand, for those of you who haven't seen Livingston, you got to look at one of the videos on driving through Livingston. We have like the classic old school, old west downtown, brick storefronts and all sorts of great stuff. Got to stop by, say hi to Dan at Riverside Hardware. There's Whiskey Creek Saloon.
He's amazing. Seriously.
He's amazing.
Like, you go in and ask him and he finds a solution for you.
There's a great little bar called The Office. We go in there and grab lunch and stuff with the kids and stuff all the time. Played darts, taught my kids how to play 301.
Oh, they had so much fun.
Schooled my daughter. Trip 20s on the out. Oh, yeah. She's like, how did you do that? I'm like, maybe your father played in a bar dart league. Maybe.
It's math, physics. Yeah. It's all.
But anyway, we're right in the middle of downtown. We're on the back side of one of these old buildings here. So it's a really, actually pretty cool vintage kind of place to work. As far as where will we be in January? As soon as we know, we'll let you know.
Yes.
The plan was to be in Vegas, but we got to find a way to make that happen. Mike says, I'm back. Had to step away, take care of some chores. Steven says, I want to start replacing my old broken swap meet tools with working tools. Thank you. Hey, anytime. Groove says, my contact tells me that whiskey uses fermented grain and bourbon is made with at least 51% corn. Oh, damn. I can't keep a secret. My contact was Google. Well, here, just to let you know, corn is a grain, technically speaking. So, that said, they're all made with grain. Ed C says, Captain Morgan's and Don Julio are the only two men I get intimate with. Not a fan of spiced rums. I've had them in my time. Don Julio, Don Julio's okay. What's the one tequila I have? Not the cheap Don. It's the other Don. I can't remember what it's called now.
Don Juan.
Oh, not Jose. It's Don. Okay. Anyway, Fred says yes.
Jorge right below it is pretty funny.
On weekend, I broke stuff, fixed stuff, and pretend to fix stuff. Recommendations for a good cheap welder 4-in-1 machine. The Titanium Omni Pro 220 or 200 or whatever it is. Problem is you just missed the big sale on those. Maybe the sale will come back around before Black Friday.
It looks like people are also responded.
Yes.
The Vulcan 220.
The Vulcan's great. Don't get me wrong. And there's lots of great Lincolns and Hobarts and everything else. But for the money, for DIY kind of stuff, it's hard to beat the Titanium. Fred Hill says, when I was stationed overseas, I was 18. I drank rum and coca. They didn't tell me it was 151.
Yes.
Oh, how did you not notice it was 151?
Well, because you don't know any better because you're 18.
Michael says, mood lighting. I thought you were setting up a dark room. Was looking for the pans of chemicals in a larger. Oh man, I miss working with those chemicals and running prints and doing in larger work and dodging photos. And when I was in school, I was in high school. We had a guy who donated all of his darkroom stuff, and it was all Agfa film and Agfa paper. And for black and white, Agfa was my choice. I fell in love with that stuff. Mike says, if you answered this, I'm sorry, but I missed it while away. Does voice command text still amaze you? It does. It really does every time. I'm honestly amazed. It's in my car. It's on my phone. She's sitting over there. We have it all over the place. People are like, well, the government can listen to you. If you have a cell phone, the government can already listen to you and probably is. So don't think you're safe.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're living in the world where you think they're not listening.
Amanda, we're talking about you in case you're watching.
Surprise. Yeah.
Love you lots. Bullwinkle says, just put a cat shield to prevent catalytic converter theft. Yeah. Somebody else commented, somebody we know lives in the Bay Area, just got theirs stolen.
Yep.
Joe, the tool guy's in the house. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Thoughts on the new atomic wrenches from Dewalt? I think they look fantastic. I think they look amazing. I am super stoked to see Dewalt coming out with new designs. I'm super stoked to see them pushing the atomic line and the extreme 12-volt line. Great stuff for everyone who's been looking for that. And everyone knows I'm hard on Dewalt. I don't give them a free pass like a lot of companies do. A lot of people give Milwaukee and Dewalt free passes on stuff, and I don't. We don't do that on this channel.
We don't
so
give
when
free passes to anybody.
Yeah, that's true. We don't. They're Craftsman. Probably
me.
Craftsman's the only one who I'll be like, oh, I don't want to see something bad because I like Craftsman so much. And maybe SK. But I'm really stoked about that kind of stuff. Jorge says, that's the one I just read. Denny's Plant-Based Journey says, do you have any info on Harbor Freight Black Friday sales? Considering a janitor, but I'm looking for a deal. Yes, but I can't say. Sorry.
So just keep following.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. And follow us on other social media just to make sure.
I like that little icon.
I'm pretty proud of it. I made that icon myself. DIY, homemade. Oh my gosh. The other day, Griffin got so upset when Mom said something was homemade.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I the only thing I could think of is that case of like when you grow up and everything's like, we don't need to buy blah, blah, blah. We can make that at home because we do so much of that. And then he's like, the kid's like, I just want to buy new.
He was offended for the other person.
Yeah.
It was cute.
It
is also almost 8 o'clock.
Almost. I'm trying to get caught up. Frank says, I'm thinking about buying the Bauer miter saw. Any equivalents? Your friends like the ones you gave him? Yes. In fact, I now have 3 miter saws in the shop, and I have told him that 2 of them need to go. There can be only one. I don't have room in this shop. The shop's just not that big.
Me. Oh, wait. No,
yeah, you're going. Saws. And so I'm probably going to keep the Ridgid just because that's the latest one they sent me. The Delta is going and the Harbor Freight is going. And I've offered him a choice of either one of those. And he's like, well, what do I do with the one you gave me? I'm like, well, pass it down the road. You know tons of guys in the trades. He's a tradesman. He works for these folks. I'm like, find somebody who needs it, gives it to him. But I like it. And I've told him, at this point, I have to get rid of it, so I'm going to give it to somebody else. And he has not gotten back to me. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. He's a tool nut, and if he's saying no to free tools, that means he is happy with what he has. Yeah. So if you're in the area, let me know if you need a miter saw.
Good night, Jennifer Whitewolf.
Good night, Jennifer. Maybe we start a dog channel. She would follow that.
We could have everyone could have their dog.
Bella needs to start her own channel.
Well, and then they could be friends across the country, like dog pen pals.
Paws across America?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Brilliant idea.
Yes.
Just happened.
David Cornett says, you mentioned Mac Tools earlier. I'm applying for a middle management with them. Could this be a bad choice? No. Because remember, they're owned by Stanley Black & Decker. Worst case scenario, you get moved over to a different brand. Do good work. And this is the thing about middle management. Here's what I've learned. Do work. Don't make waves, but always promote yourself. And it sounds like a schmuck move, but nobody else is going to cheerlead for you, especially in middle management. And you have to go out there and be like, because you're going to get blamed for your losses. So might as well get blamed for your successes or even kind of successes as well. Push it out there. Good luck with it, man. I've heard it's Stanley Black & Decker in total is a tough company to work for. B. Stanford says, I'm so far behind in this live stream because I've had to step out for a while, but I'm definitely watching until the end. Anyway, Jeff, do you think the Dewalt will grow their 12-volt line? Yes. If you saw my thing on Dewalt, they're already growing it. They've put out a bunch of new tools. They're definitely doing a lot more with that and the Atomic and new 20-volt tools. We are finally seeing some real growth in Dewalt, and I hope it continues. I can only hope it continues. Halo says, look up Superbox. I'm going to get me one. Oh, my gosh. I go.
Inslim says, hello.
Wait, is this adult kind of stuff? Am I going to? All right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Widgets says, he. I'm with you regarding gold rings and chains. Maybe part the reason is why I like blending in the background. And you can't do that wearing a massive gold shackle strangling you.
I hate to say it. So if the kids these days, they all follow TikTok and all these, and Instagram, all these trends and Snapchat, whatever. And the youngest, he was at some sort of like garage sale or something. He got himself a lookalike gold necklace.
He super loves.
And he looked pimptastic with it. I'm sorry if I can't say that on YouTube, but he's like, and he was so proud of it. He goes, what do you think? And I'm like, and I had to wait for her to leave because she doesn't like it when I say anything negative to the children. But I had to be honest with him. Because I'm his father and that's my job. And I'm like, if we lived in Oakland, you could get away with that. We live in Montana. You look
like everyone else's kid who's watching.
No, it's not going to be cool. And he's like, no, it's really cool. And we hung out with some of my friends and I'm like, ask them. And he's like, what do you think about it? And they're all like, guys don't wear necklaces. And he's like, that thing was gone the next day. Wasn't me.
My husband's going to be taking an unscheduled vacation.
No, I don't do jewelry. And the way I grew up, men don't wear jewelry. Wedding ring, that's about it.
I think jewelry on
or
men
unless
is
you're
fine.
a Mason. If you're a Mason.
Everyone is entitled to their own deal.
If you're a Mason or you went to one of the military academies. If you are over the age of 25 and you're still wearing your college ring, you and I are going to have a chat.
I think it depends on which college.
I don't care what college. And if you went to
VMI.
Okay, if you went to VMI, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
But that's like going to one of the military academies. Okay, I put VMI right up there with all of them. Fry Guy says, I've been waiting for that Ridgid job site saw to go on sale at Home Depot. Their new one has been out for a while, $4.99. Yeah, I've not seen nearly the deals on that one that I've seen on the other stuff. And Sam says, I really love the backdrops today. Really missed your Sunday night talks. Glad that you're back. Glad we're back. There's going to be more. I'm playing with lighting and all sorts of stuff. We'll see how it goes. Fred says, I'm retired Air Force. If for your homeschooling, I would try and help you any way possible. I think parents, after seeing the garbage our kids were being taught in school, I would homeschool. Yeah. I grew up going to, public school in Iowa and like, well, there's no problem with public school. And then I saw what they're teaching today and I'm like, nope, we're homeschooling.
Yeah. It's just a hot mess, really. Halen Wolf with the $5 super chat. So wait, men don't wear necklaces? How about dog tags?
Real men tie them to their boots.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you for the $5 super chat and ignore my husband.
Drop it.
He and I do not agree on everything. Shocking. I know.
All right.
I say rock on with your bad self.
Time out for you. I got a speed read so we can catch up because we're after 8 o'clock. What are you going to do without the Hallmark Channel? Oh, my God. My ex
is watching it right now.
Right now. She's addicted to the Hallmark Channel.
Let me see if I can.
Zap says, does your shop have railway delivery docks? We got a ramp. So you said voice command. My GPS came on and said, nice. Vader said, do you see my video on finding a very rare $100 star note? No, I didn't. I'll have to go back and check that out. Fred says, we are looking to go in Vegas in January 2020. Dude, if you do, contact us. Email me, Reddit Dinner Tools. And if we're there, we will come by. We'll take you all out to dinner or something. Brad's Workbench showing up at the end. Typical. Lazy as always. By the way, you got to check out Brad's Workbench and his wood turning channel where Brad polishes his wood 24/7. You got to check it out. Fantastic stuff.
Red Bear. You don't have to turn. Oh, it says put on, but
nice.
Turn on the
Mark
red
says,
light.
how to get high school kids into the trades. Oh, I did a video on that. We got to get more. I'm going to tell you what, the Festool going around, it was a high school thing I went to where they were doing their roadshow thing. That was pretty cool.
Super cool.
I wish we could get more of the companies into doing those kind of roadshow, trade show kind of things. Clint says, is the bear fond of real buffalo steaks and burgers? No, I don't like buffalo. Buffalo it's dry and it's nasty. You can mix it in with other stuff to try and make it better.
It's not nasty. It's not for you.
Elk and deer. Elk and deer all day long. And you know what? Maybe some speed goat and some sausages.
Speed goat.
That's the pronghorn, aka antelope, if you're wondering. Scott says, my decades-old Black & Decker 12-volt blower driver sweeper finally died. Saw the Snap Fresh review. Suggestions on replacement. Don't need lots of power. I have a gas blower. For light duty, several people picked up the Snap Fresh, and they say it's fine for light duty. It's cheap. It's built cheap, but it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Keith says, nice to see you back on Sundays. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Mike says, I'm really enjoying the Foundation show. You just have to grit your teeth on the changes for today's world. I got to I can't watch anything past the first episode because I don't have an Apple device. So I got to find a way to pay for it so I can get on Apple. Also, so I can watch. What's the other show they have that I love?
Oh, the one.
The coach.
The guy.
Oh my gosh.
Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso. What a freaking amazing show that is. Dwayne says, love the smell of developer in the morning. Especially, you ever done like offset lithography and been doing with that kind of the red developer stuff? Whew, that'll wake you up and give you a buzz in the morning. Fred says, my neighbor taught me how to run a dark room. What a blast. I love running dark rooms.
Wings and Pizza says there is a second channel.
We're working on it. The announcement that's coming. Michael says, the government is listening. How about a tour of the Black Helicopter paint shop? No doubt, guys. Come on. Jorge says, thanks. Try Bacardi Gold Reserve. Send me an address. I'll send you some of the Puerto Rican rums. Wow. Email me at red@denatools.com. I will send you an address. I've had Gold Reserve. I've toured the Bacardi facilities. The Bacardi Dark is where it's at. And Simon says, I've used Dewalt at home, 18 volt, and Milwaukee 12 volt at work. Milwaukee 12 volt is way underrated. Fantastic stuff, even for DIYers. There's going to be tons of sales on 12 volt stuff. Jackal GB says, you played darts too? Ha! Awesome. I made the top 32 and 301 in the big Las Vegas tourney back in the early 90s.
Wow.
Being English helped, I bet. Now, let me ask you this. Do you use hammerheads or standard darts? Ben R says, what do you recommend for a good half-inch collet router? Right now, I think the go-to one for a budget-minded one is going to be Skill. If you want to spend the money, probably Bosch. But Skill, the theory is that they're rebadged, the old rebadged Craftsman, because those were allegedly also made by Chevron. Fred says, every tool company has a stinker or 5. And Jason says, an early run to the data center is coming tomorrow. Thanks for the fun. Good night, folks. You too. Scott says, also ever visit South Carolina? Would love for you to visit my new gunsmith shop sometimes. Man, I love gunsmith shops. I love dealing with that kind of stuff. I do some DIY stuff myself, nowhere near the caliber you do. We never get over there. I've been through South Carolina.
Scott, but I would say still send us an email.
Yeah, you never know. She wants me to take her down to Florida.
I really do. We love to travel, and we haven't done it because of a number of reasons, mainly the world is upside down and backwards. But please send us an email because I like hanging on to that info. And then when we are in that area, we will. Well,
it's just over the pass from whatchamacallit? What's that giant tourist trap down there? Not Dollywood, the one just south of there.
The one with. Why are you asking
the
me?
One you've been Gatlinburg. The one you've been like, why don't you ever take me?
Yeah, why doesn't he ever take me?
Groupjet says, so this may not have any standing at all because an electrician said it to me. So I showed him my Milwaukee 8-volt SDS. He said, I buy proper tools, not that crap. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, there's always going to be one of those people.
Yeah. And usually people who don't have a lot of experience with tools.
Talking out of their
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to piss off a bunch of people. Just because you've used tools for 15, 20, 30 years. If you haven't, if you like, I use this tool, it works for me, blah, blah, that doesn't mean it's the best tool out there. Doesn't mean you understand how tools work. Just means you know how to use that one tool. That's great for you.
Right.
That
In
doesn't
your
mean
particular
that doesn't,
circumstance.
just because you can fix something doesn't mean you are an expert on the tools that get used for it. There's two different skill sets.
Well, and I also think that anybody who is going to be talking crap to somebody else, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you're not cool. It doesn't make you cool.
Yeah. James says, and usually people I find doing that are somebody who have like 2 to 3 years in the trade and now think that they're a professional. You're not even a journeyman at that point. James says, sadly, my splitting maul snapped in the middle of me splitting wood. Know any good ones because I obviously need a new one. The maul itself split or the handle split? There is a company that sells hickory handles, American Hickory. I can't remember, it might be called American Hickory. Do a search online. I don't remember the name of it. I've seen hickory handles or handles split, and get a good hickory handle for it. You'll be fine. As far as the actual maul splitting, I've never seen that before. I want pictures. Fred says, Mrs. DeBear, I want to learn how to can stuff. I'm not a prepper, but with the shortages, we need to start.
Yep.
Maybe somebody needs to write that book and start that channel I keep telling her about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Spoke says, I thought on the Makita Excavator T-Mobile brushless, cordless 5-inch wet dry masonry saw. Do you think it will go on sale for Christmas? I wouldn't bet on it. That's specialty tools hardly ever go on sale. Not for the big stuff like that. They'll have sales here and there, but not for like the big stuff. And Asylum says, we have a small set of small Mac wrenches at workshop. They don't seem to fit very well. Not a huge fan of the Mac hand tools that I've used. I prefer the Proto for hand tools if you're going to go with Stanley Black & Decker. Michael says, pause across America. Nobody wants to hear my beagle bay at other dogs. This critter has no volume control. Welcome to Beagle life.
That's why there's a mute button.
On a beagle? There's no mute button on a beagle.
If it was pause across America and your dog was watching another dog, you could just
Yeah.
mute it.
No, I grew up with a beagle. Love beagles.
They're so cute.
So cute. So loud. Oh my gosh. I'm never going to get caught
behind. Yep.
up. Fred Hill. So hunting season's coming up. It's actually started if you have access to some areas, depending on what your tag is for. $24 says, should have told your kids to get a purse that matches the necklace. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at something else. Michael says, Jeff, I'm with you. My trade metal is bad next to high voltage. A chain dropping the power. Oh, yeah. Chains. I told a friend of mine, he wears his wedding ring. I'm like, dude, you've got to get one of those silicone ones because that thing's you're going to get your finger degloved there. People don't believe me, but it happens. Travis says, I got the red beer. What's the next icon, Bear? I don't know what the icon after that is. I think is it black? I don't remember the icon levels. I'm sorry. But the color changes based on how long you've been a member. Red's pretty long.
Yeah.
Traveler X says, as of now, the talk shouldn't be about the best deals. It should be about where to find any inventories.
Yep.
Yes, it kind of is like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fred says, the big thing on trades and getting women into the trades. Oh, yeah. Mater says, looking into PCGS unboxing videos. Halo says, should be able to watch on Superbox S2. Traveler says, I'm glad you explained what a speed goat is. I'm not sure tweakers have the same definition. Carson says, do you have any info on Home Depot Black Friday? Think it's going to land this week. Later this week is what the predictions are. Gramute says, hey Gramute, how you doing, man? Sorry you missed my hello, but again, glad to see you're back on live stream. By the way, the company, so I gave you that 3D printer. They reached out to me and said, hey, have you done anything more with it? I sent them a link to your Instagram. They're stoked. They want to do a sale on it. If you're interested in making some money, email me and I'll connect you with them and they might pay you some money to post some videos and stuff on your Instagram.
And Jennifer White Wolf, I am so sorry to hear about your uncle recently passing away.
Oh, that's
We
terrible.
will keep your family in our hearts and prayers.
Fred says, remember lawn darts?
Oh, no.
I remember them fondly.
No lawn darts.
Jackal says, hammerheads, 26 grams for the win. Dollywood is in Pigeon Forge. Yes, just south of Dollywood, I said. They're right next to each other.
Either way, you still haven't taken me.
Nope. Michael says, getting late here. Got to go. You have a good one. Fred says, wow, 300 are in the room. In the room. Must be a Hilti snob. I got some Hilti stuff. I don't talk about it much. Mater says, I'm hoping to get started my mini top fuel dragster. Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun.
Pictures.
Oh, I need to come down and help with that.
Yeah.
Amelie says, Dollywood is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, about 8 miles. Gatlinburg's south of there, and then you hop over the ridge. I've done that drive down to we used to go down to Florida all the time when I lived in Ohio and Kentucky.
Again, another place you haven't taken me.
Fred says, past 8 p.m., good night. He's like, you too. Spectacular stream tonight. Mark says, thank you so much. Gramita says, I love my iPhone, but I excited for the Tesla mode. P.I. Sorry, can't find the pi symbol. Oh, they're coming out of the, are they coming out of the phone? Appalachian Axe Works showing up at the end. How you doing? There's another channel you got to check out. They have such beautiful stuff. You had an axe that had like a green, I think it was green leather wrap on the handle and over. I got to avoid your Instagram. Says House Handle of Missouri is a family-owned company that sells a wide variety of American. Perfect people to answer. If anybody's going to know Appalachian Axe Works.
Axe Works. We're tired.
And that's the show, folks. You will have a great evening. Good night. Take care. And as always, shine on. Oh, my gosh. How do I get out of here? Where's the door? There we go.